Good to see you, everyone. My name is Robbie Howell, and we're back with another recorded Enclave actual play, this time featuring not one, but two familiar, well, unfamiliar faces and one very familiar one. So let us begin with our guests. Peter, tell us about yourself.
Sure. My name's Peter. I run the YouTube channel called Tales from Elsewhere and am the creator and lead designer of the game series of the same name. I work in action horror primarily, and if you just Google Tales from Elsewhere, you'll get all my stuff. And
Excellent.
today I'm playing Dega the Noose, a gunslinger, ex-con, ne'er-do-well in general, who has been conscripted into assisting rather than volunteering out of a sense of heroism.
Excellent. And next up, Clarke, tell us about yourself.
Hi, I'm Clarke. I am the founder of Speaks and Spells Publishing. Done a lot of work historically for Level Up Advanced 5th Edition. Although my latest project, Wild Magic Reimagined, which had some nice little success on Kickstarter. Thank you so much to everyone who supported the project and who will support the project once they hear about it. That's you, whoever's watching this right now. Yeah, that project is compatible as well with D&D 5th Edition 2014, 2024, as well as Tales of the Valiant, broadening the net, bringing love to everybody. I'm super excited to be here. I will be playing Murasaki. Murasaki is a librarian from some sort of sci-fi version of Japan, about 24 years old, kind of a stern demeanor, an official archivist for the Imperial Court. And we'll see what she cuts up to today.
Lovely. And last, our good friend who has appeared on so very many great actual plays, Mary.
Hi, my name is Mary May. I hang out here and do virtually nothing else. I'll be playing Siri, who I've played before, one of the only characters I play. She's an illusionist who had a background in accidentally running a kingdom and kind of just rolling with it, and it didn't go well. But now she maybe is actually going to rule a kingdom after having a lovely romance with somebody on one of her missions. So that's very exciting.
Excellent. And for these fine characters, I have created something of an unusual mission. I got the following focus words. I got, give in to me, dissociate, till the very last drop, and moral dilemma. And from these focus words, I came to the following mission. You guys are being sent aboard a close orbital strike platform, a literal space station, heavily armed with ordnance capable of evaporating a city. And that is exactly what is intending to do. This thing was not supposed to be deployed. And yet, here we are. Reason being is that this particular part of Manifold is quite high-tech, very high-tech, in fact. So high-tech that almost everyone here has some form of, implant in them. This is something familiar to Murasaki, though it's a very different type of implant that unfortunately has a couple of major exploits. So much so that at least half of all military personnel are forbidden from having them because of how easy it is to exploit someone who has one of these implants. And yet, the entire crew of the station has been hacked, including the ones without implants. And the hacker is currently cruising this strike platform to an unknown destination, probably to do something absolutely god-awful. But in the process, the platform is locked on to a major civilian target. And the hacker has made intentions clear. Let me do what I'm going to do with the strike platform, or I obliterate that from the map. So with this hypnotized crew, and a hacker who can hypothetically get into someone without an implant, you guys are being sent in to neutralize the target. Make sure nothing gets wiped off the map, even if you have to take out the entire crew to do it. One other complication. The whole thing is running low on fuel. This means two things. One, clearly the final destination is pretty close, and second of all, it's going to start plummeting, and not in a terribly distant future either. Of note, this strike platform is called the Sarissa. So if you hear that term used, that is what being referred to. Another thing I will note: this place has a lot of local slang, and enough so that the Enclave is not going to be able to explain all of it to you going in. The main one to remember is that those implants are called scepters. This is for you, Mary.
Thank you. I love lore-specific terminology.
The last thing to note is that this strike platform is shaped as a series of concentric rings that kind of spin around each other, kind of like an armillary, but each one has specific gravity. And each one is quite broad enough that you could easily drive a car along each and any one of them, even as they're all spinning around. As such, you actually have quite a lot of ability to traverse the entire place, and even though the entire crew have been hijacked, since they are all effectively automata right now, they're puppets, they're still being controlled by one person whose eyes can't be everywhere at once. And therefore, you will find them relatively easy to deal with, if not outright bypass, except when, of course, the hijacker is directly paying attention to them. Crew size, we're talking under 24, maybe 15-ish people. Questions? And questions, by the way, all questions and answers are known in character, but are asked out of character for ease.
What's our extraction plan here? Once we're dropped off here and, as we plummet from the heavens, barreling toward a planet, potentially.
Quite.
How do we get picked up?
That's the fun thing about the Enclave, is the second your mission is finished, succeed or fail, your Enclave badge, which all characters have, will magically ping, tap the badge, teleport out. So extraction, once you finish the mission, you're fine. And they are teleporting you in there as well, I should note. You're going to be teleported in to, it's not like a maintenance closet, but it's like a holding bay of the strike platform that is currently unoccupied. And so you'll at least have some period of time. Yes, there's security. Yes, there are cameras. But again, he can't be looking everywhere at once. So if you start taking immediate action, you should be able to be undetected, at least at first. Other questions?
I have a question and one statement, which is just when you ping out, even if the mission is failing, we can ping out. So if we're about to die, and it's officially going to fail, I think we can still get out of Dodge, which is true. Good. Question. So we know this being is threatening to explode a civilian situation if we don't let them do...
Oh, did she die? I don't know if she...
Yeah, she glitched.
Oh, well.
She got hacked by the villain.
Yeah, seriously.
Can't trust her anymore.
That's going to be my excuse for when anything technically goes wrong on this mission. I'll just
a little random event generator right there.
You froze. Bam. In the meantime, any other question from you guys? Well, we wait for Mary to get back.
What she may have been about to ask that I was going to ask as well is, what are the hackers' demands?
Excellent question.
Do we know?
Yes, the hackers'
do
demands...
whatever they're going to do.
Oh, there she is.
Oh. Yep.
The hackers' demands are pretty straightforward. They have indicated, do not interfere with what I am attempting to do. Do not try to intercept me. Do not try to shut me down. And if I detect even the slightest bit of interference, I'm going to unleash hell on this innocent target. But
what are they attempting to do?
Yes, that is the question.
Okay, we don't know that.
They are navigating the strike platform completely off of its normal orbit path.
Gotcha.
And it's not clear exactly where they are directing it towards.
Gotcha. To what end, we do not know.
Yeah.
To just make sure I'm clear, their plan as far as killing the city, was that to utilize the strike platform's capabilities, or I think you mentioned that it would crash it into it?
Oh,
I think I got mixed up there.
Excellent question. The strike platform's actual weapon capacities are locked onto this innocent target. They can unleash hell whenever they want, so that will be with the actual weapon system. In terms of it crashing, that's a little more incidental to the entire situation. Will a crashing strike platform, evaporate whatever's underneath it? Yes, though admittedly that's a lot harder to triangulate.
But that's not specifically the threat.
Exactly. And
that
it's
is
also a lot
consequence
easier to
deal
intercept,
with,
too, because, this is a futuristic setting. They have a lot of weapon systems. They could blow one of these things out of the air if they wanted to, if it's plummeting down towards a city. Its ordinances, though, are a lot harder to deal with. Yeah, Mary, what's up?
Oh, no, I've already forgotten it. Oh, I remember. Okay, the being... Information about them. Are they on the ship? Do they have a name? Do they have... an ID we could...
A puppy we could kidnap?
Yeah, so children that we could threaten. I don't know, anything.
Great heroes.
Yeah.
And that's a great question. The main thing to to note is that you will hear the term lamprey thrown a lot in regards to this. That's because the kind of like mind hackers that people get in these areas are just colloquially called lampreys. They do a very, very good job of disguising their identities because otherwise, as you might imagine, there is a ton of collateral. There is a ton of leverage that can be taken against them. Everyone's plugged into everything in a setting like this. And so they have taken intensive pains to not reveal their identity. So much so, you won't even know what they look like, which is another serious problem.
Are they on the ship?
Yes, that much is known. They are on the ship.
Sorry. Do we have any reports about like serial killers get names just because they do the same thing over and over again? Do we have any reports on like a code name for this type of guy?
Yep, excellent question too. This one does not have any connected similarities to past efforts. The fact that they have one, hit a military target, and two, mind hacked people without neural implants, insanely unusual. Like that's a first, pretty much. Mm-hmm. And so this is just the reason that the Enclave is being called in is that the local authorities are just like, we have no idea what to do. We have nothing that we can do about this.
Understood.
And it turns out that teleporting a whole ass like man with a gun on a horse onto a space station is actually the play.
You never know when you're going to need a horse.
Well, it'll certainly get you around the place fast. You know, in some airports, those like little miniature trains that you use to get around an airport, they actually do have one of those here, but obviously it's been completely taken over by the lamprey, and so
horse is more reliable than any of that newfangled technology.
Quite. Final questions.
No, you answered one I already had, which was, is saving the crew a priority? And it's not.
No.
So makes my job much easier.
Quite. Yeah.
Are they likely to attack us?
I'd say yes, but it's not guaranteed. I'm going to say likely, but not guaranteed.
Okay, cool.
Can I take a preparatory action like immediately before teleporting?
Teleporting will eliminate existing magical effects, and so what you'd want to do is the moment you port in, you'd want to do something.
Great. Okay.
Yep. Excellent.
And my last question to the Enclave, really, before they send me in, is how many years off my sentence will this mission shave off?
That remains to be determined.
Of course it does.
Excellent. And with that, let us proceed to the mission itself. Again, everything we have gone over, your characters know entirely, including the Q&A. And also, your characters will be briefed on unfamiliar elements, even if not like super thoroughly. You'll know you're going to space, you know there's a bunch of technology bullshit, and obviously Murasaki is going to have a much higher like degree of competency in that regard, briefing notwithstanding.
Competency and maybe liability.
Quite. And with that, each of you is teleported from your various homes around Manifold to Enclave HQ, a vast gray building at the heart of the infinite world, so big as to be almost infinite itself. It is sleek, it is beautiful, it is stately, it is somewhere between a Gothic cathedral and like a neo-modern high-rise in terms of its design. And each of you are led through its labyrinthine halls by faceless attendants clad only in gray. Passing by the only other scraps of color here are other agents like yourselves, many of whom are so strange and like foreign-looking as to be downright alien. Some smile, some snarl, some wave, some wish good luck, some look away, but eventually you are each led to a small, dark chamber with rounded corners and a gleaming pad on the floor at its center. A disembodied voice whispers in your ear, "Agent, please take your place atop the telepad." And as you do so, you would feel your bodies begin to dissociate, a tingling sensation starting at your toes and working its way up your legs, leaving them asleep in its wake. When the tingling passes your midsection, your guts churn violently. When it passes your chest, your heart flutters and you no longer feel it beat. And when the tingling passes your eyes, your vision explodes into ribbons of color. There is a buzzing in your ears. The world falls away, and then there is nothing. But as swiftly as the sensation came, it leaves. and you find yourselves in a large, large room. Very neat, very orderly, and not made of the kind of sleek geometrics that you might expect of like a futuristic setting. Rather, think of everything here as being rather smooth. Rounded corners all over the place, bright kind of brassy colors rather than anything kind of neutral or white. A bit of a strange plastic-like sheen on everything. And the floors are clean and tiled. Behind you, you can see the great even bay doors that are currently completely closed, of course, but even so, do have display ports which give you sight of the whirling outer space around you. You are, of course, on a spinning ring. And as such, I could imagine intense vertigo from looking out that strange vista, seeing a planet pass and then another, and then spinning out again into the stars. But even so, your feet are firmly on the ground, and gravity feels oriented as it normally is. The bay is almost entirely empty as well, and there is not a single trace of life in it. The doors in and out are obvious. There is one main exit port and two smaller ones, besides the huge bay doors at the far end. Actions you would like to take as you enter, but also a brief description for us of what your character looks like. Let us begin with Dega. Physical appearance and first actions upon porting in.
Yeah, so Dega is a disheveled man in his 40s and little unshaven. It looks like he just finished a stint in prison because he's not teleported from his home here, he's teleported from a holding cell. And he has a distinctive scar running around his neck, hence the nickname Dega the Noose, as he has been sentenced to death no less than 3 times in his life, and some of which he was not guilty of. Looks like somebody who is beyond world weary, world sick of it at this point, as he's been dealt bad hand after bad hand. He's not a bad guy. He's just amoral at the end of the day, a survivor. And he has some classic things like a horse named Ratita, who is with him. Why he brought this on a space station, I'm sure the horse is very confused. He's got his 6-shooter and, a classic duster and bandolier. And his first action upon being teleported in is to realize they never uncuffed him. I said, they forgot again. They always forget to do this. They're always so about procedure. And so he starts... I start fiddling around in my pack looking for like something to pick the lock.
Like in your
just
saddlebags.
As some mishap that immediately befalls him.
That's great. We love it. And as Dega is doing so, appearance and first actions from Murasaki.
Yep. So Murasaki shows up. She is dressed in what, in terms of form, appears like very traditional Japanese garb. But if you look close at color, first of all, everything is in far like sharper, brighter hues than you would expect. There's a lot of cyan, magenta, a little bit of yellow, and black, kind of like printer kind of colors. And if you look very closely, there is a bit of a cybernetic sheen throughout all of her clothing. But the style of it is very much inspired by much more like traditional periods of Japan. She is composed, arms in her sleeve. First action, she is very no nonsense. Snaps her fingers. Amakazi's Guide to Go, Amakazi's Treatise on Go and Cybersecurity, and Cyber Warfare. And she is going to conjure a book on that exact treatise, very much sort of an art of war for the digital age. And the specific thing that I would like to pitch that I can hopefully magically learn from this is the ability to disguise ourselves, at the very least, to people who have been hacked as, at the very least, on a first glance, crew members who have also been hacked. So we get an initial little sheen of like lowered suspicion.
Excellent. That's really cool. I like the effect idea. So the effect would be to someone who is hacked, you would bear the same signature, even if someone looking through actual eyes would see otherwise. Is that correct?
Yes. So, for ant colony going in, disguising ourselves with their scent.
Yeah, pheromones. Awesome. I think that's a brilliant idea. And not only that, the knowledge of cybersecurity would begin flooding into your mind. A whole book's worth of knowledge in a matter of seconds. Obviously, as you might expect, the cybersecurity of this area is very different from Murasaki's own. And yet, knowledge is power is going to be themed to the setting. And so you will have a specific knowledge of the local cybersecurity, which is, as you might imagine, quite useful.
And if I might, I'd love to pitch exactly how I apply this.
Please.
Which is I would like to take a little bit of my cybernetically enhanced clothing, whisper a couple of words in my native language, sort of programming it quickly by auditory command, and I will pass out what appear to be like tiny little cherry blossoms to my companions and the horse, and say, take these. They will keep you safe. We shall appear to be like them to their eyes.
Excellent. And as...
What do I do with it? I have the cherry blossom.
Yeah.
Give it to me. And I pin it in a very conspicuous to normalized location.
Absolutely.
You have a bright little cherry blossom on your dusty jersey.
I do just need to clarify, is this magical effect going to make somebody look at the horse and see a human who has been hacked?
No, they'll see a horse who has been hacked. Duh.
I just needed to clarify that.
Real quick, before I go further, what is the skill stat on Dega? I think it's 2 pluses.
Yeah, I'm 2+. I'm double plus on skill.
Absolutely. In that case, I am perfectly okay with you having picked your own lock like backwards by now, just like popping them off, wringing out your hands. Which
I keep telling them they need to get better locks on these things.
Yeah.
It's too easy.
And lastly, Siri, physical description and first actions.
Yeah, Siri is a woman of undescript height or age, just because I haven't figured it out. Mid-20s, mid to late 20s, probably like slightly shorter than average. She's blonde and will never be caught dead in anything other than pink and heels. And for people who are in the chat, there's the lovely art that my brother did of her.
Hell yeah.
But she would probably come in, immediately take a step back at the horse, clock, understand what that person is, look over, a little bit more confused about Murasaki, and just go, okay, this is the crew we're walking. Oh, thank you for the flower. What is this?
Just ferret.
Okay, she'll put it on. I'm Siri. I assume Dega and Murasaki. I was briefed a little bit about you two.
Yeah, I'm sure they said only glowing, loving things about me.
That about sums it up, yes. Anybody got a game plan?
You begin by asking questions. The root of all inquiry.
You know, the way the Enclave was pitching this sounded all sorts of subterfuge, but honestly, this sounds like an assassination to me. So we gotta sneak around, find the target, put him in the dirt, go home. Easy peasy. Bing, bang, bong.
Well, let's see if I can, is there a wall nearby I can lean on just for a second?
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, great. I'm gonna lean on the wall and then, try to cast Viewpoint.
How are you going to remote target Viewpoint? My
Here's
favorite
the
question to illusionists.
I know, it's great. Here's the thing, though. I don't really need to target it. I just need to get out and find the first person, because everybody's the same guy.
That's true.
As long as I find the same guy. So I guess we could just open the door and find the first guy.
Yeah, so hold the viewpoint until you find anyone.
Yeah, we'll find the first guy.
Sure.
Yeah, we'll just hold off on it. Okay.
And out of character, as a gunslinger, my abilities are mostly combat focused, and I'm just like a tough combatant. That's mainly what I'm here to do. I imagine they brought me in because you two actually know what's going on and can accomplish the mission, and I'm here to make sure you two don't end up dead.
I would like not to die, so that's great.
Perhaps sweet words are more convincing when he is bearing a sword.
You know, potato to potato is what I've found on that, because I've found looking down the barrel of a black-eyed Susan is often more convincing than any words. I'm going to try to sprinkle in as much strange vernacular as I can.
I appreciate the slang term black-eyed Susan, which I absolutely love, having researched a lot of Western stuff for the gunslinger. With that, actions you guys would like to take from here. As mentioned, besides the gigantic bay doors, there are 2 smaller doors in the room and one obvious, like, kind of main door out sort of deal. One of the side doors leading out is up like a rise. That's up high along the wall, catwalk style, but not quite as flimsy. Actions you'd like to take, places you'd like to go. We'll jump to Dega first.
Yeah, and so a little clarification maybe about how my duster is going to interact with my flower.
Excellent question.
So I imagine that the crew doesn't walk around with billowing dusters like I do. but my duster magically makes me inconspicuous.
It does.
Lets me kind of blend in.
Yep.
But I wanted to double check what the interaction would be, and this is maybe mostly a question to Murasaki, because in character I don't know what's going on. Like, are they going to counteract each other?
So I don't think they would counteract each other. Like the specific way that like the cherry blossom makes you inconspicuous is that you are identified by people who have been hacked as someone else who has been hacked. We at present don't know whether or not there's any kind of differentiation in those roles, whether they've been like reduced to mindless clones. So potentially like that could stack on top of it.
Gotcha. I like it.
Yep.
Well, so my suggestion is one of the best ways to break into a place is to walk in and act like you belong. So we just be real nonchalant. We open this here door and we just go about our business, not hurriedly, but not with trepidation either. And we get a lay of the land with maybe me up front in case things go sour. I have
one suggested annotation to your plan.
Please proceed.
I agree entirely that the best way to proceed is to act not only as we belong, but as though we, in your vernacular, own the place. I believe that the situation is new. I would suggest that we encounter the first person we find, claim that they have some disparity in their neural protocol and that this is a security check, ask them to state their business, and give us some additional information such that we can proceed post-haste to the target.
I like it. And if they don't cooperate, we maybe clobber them.
Aren't all their minds the same person? If we start interrogating them, then the person will know.
Yeah, will they all know?
Here.
Could you, Murasaki, or break the link if we capture one? Like, get your hands on them.
That might be something I could do as well.
Wait, can you do that? I know you're some sort of sorceress or something, right?
Illusions, but I've been kind of doing a different thing. I can read minds a little tiny bit, and so maybe I could do something with that.
I like it. We act like we belong. We act like we own the place. We single somebody out on the pretense of a security check. You wiggly fingers folks, do your finger wiggling, and I will be ready to bludgeon them if they appear to be onto us. Does that sound? I'll be waiting in the wings should the subterfuge fail.
Now, I'm sure Siri looks absolutely thrilled at this, but whether or not she says she is approving of it is another matter.
We're just gonna go with it.
I've found in life, you just gotta go with the flow. You just gotta play your hand, but with a loaded gun under the table.
Sometimes, if you do that, you end up maybe in jail.
Fair point.
Will anyone be proceeding towards a way out?
Yeah. Could I make a one-way mirror type phantasm over the main door?
Cool. Yeah, sounds pretty easy. Cool.
Okay, cool. Because I want to see out and they not see in. Okay.
Yeah. Will you proceed over towards that main door? And if so, what's going to be a paired action for the phantasm?
Yeah, I think just go over to the phantasm. Is it like one of these style doors?
As you approach it, while it looks like one of those, it opens in like a very extra like winding way instead of just being like a door.
Okay.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
As soon as it starts to open, I would like to mimic its opening actions with my hands to like make it look like it did and open. Hopefully.
Yep, easily done.
Okay.
And as you like neatly open the door, the hallway beyond, like the bay that you're in, the hallway beyond is quite slick. It's even, there's not a bunch of big ugly plates and protruding garbage everywhere. That said, the entire thing is absolutely covered head to foot in like little access panels that are like seamlessly built into the walls everywhere. There's also a couple of like what look like large interfaces that have like very obvious put your hand here sort of things, maybe to access them. But more notably than anything else, everyone would see that as the door is opening and Siri is very expertly producing a new illusion to mimic it not, there is a person like walking past right in front of it. They don't look, they don't notice the door opening. The door does make a noise, but they don't indicate that they hear it. So that's something at the very least. Actions you would like to take, starting with Siri as it opens, then we'll jump to the other two.
Viewpoint. I would like to viewpoint on them, because if they didn't hear the door opening, I think that they are currently and I want to see the guy.
That's the technical term.
Yeah, that's about it.
And as Siri goes for the viewpoint, it fails. It doesn't go on cooldown, it just doesn't activate. It's like you're targeting a rock.
Because he doesn't have a mind!
Yeah.
Because it's robots! Okay. Robbie did this to fuck with me.
Yes.
Okay.
But she says in character.
No, I'm not gonna
curses
scream
the
at
god.
This...
Though Siri would look like immediately dismayed. Follow-up
I'm
actions.
very upset.
Follow-up actions from Dega and then Murasaki.
You know, I'd like to pass to Murasaki in that I'm waiting to see if this subterfuge like approach fails, because then I'll flip that revolver around butt side out.
Bang.
And it'll be good night to somebody potentially.
Sweet
But
prince.
I want to let them do that approach.
All right, in that case, Murasaki, what would you like to do?
I'll go ahead and walk right up to the passerby.
Yep.
I'll say, "Stop. Your protocols are disordered. This is a security check. State your name and business."
And the moment you say stop, it does actually stop. I say it. It's definitely a she, but like behavior like an it at the moment. Stop, and rather than responding to the rest, you would see that there's just kind of a blank expression. I don't know if you've ever interacted with lizards before, but lizards have like a 10-second lag between when they want to do something and when they actually do it. And it's not entirely dissimilar here either. She just has this kind of blank face as it's almost like she's trying to process what's going on. I should note that this gives you a nice close-up view of the implant on the back of her head. The way I would describe it is it looks like a little squid that kind of goes a little ways down the base of the spine and then kind of hooks up towards the top with its little arms sticking out and a little bell at the bottom. There's even like a shaved patch of hair right around it for easy access. And besides that, the clothing is like, it's not Star Trek style jumpsuits, right? There's a lot more personalization to it, but it is still it's still distinctly a military uniform, albeit like maybe not the most combat practical one, shall we say. Now, again, after stop, no other immediate reaction. Follow-ups from Murasaki after this.
I'll repeat, state your name and business. I'll give it another chance just to see what happens.
Yep. And as you do so, you can see that the person doesn't blink, doesn't move, but then after another moment, you can see that they kind of like catch up, it seems, and they would reach down into like a side belt, like a utility belt, and pull out what looks like an ID card that is attached to them by way of a little elastic. They do not speak, nor do they look at you. They just kind of hold it up.
Okay. Can I glean any pertinent information off of the ID card?
A ton, actually. It tells you everything you would want to know about this particular woman. It tells you like her like various identification tags within the military, tells her rank, tells you how long she has served for, tells you her home base, all sorts of information, blood type, everything.
I'll hold the pass and say, "It expired 2 cycles ago. It will need to be taken for immediate remedification."
Again, there's nothing for a solid 5 seconds. And then you can see that the hand kind of like slowly lowers, and as though in slow motion, she reaches down and unclips it from the utility belt.
As you were.
She hands it over towards you. And then brings her hands back down to her side and continues to proceed along the hallway as though nothing had happened.
Murasaki silently berates herself for remedification is not a word.
Hey, we got a security card, though, that could be useful.
That was my hope.
One hopes. Well, if I look at the other side of this entryway real quick.
Yeah.
Does it have a place to key card swipe or, an insert, a swipe, a tap or something where it looks like they use those
Excellent question. It seems as though from the inside of rooms, no. From the outside of rooms, yes.
Handy.
You would see,
So that
however,
may have just quite literally opened some doors for us here in the facility.
Though I will say, it seems like the ID cards being kind of like a tap entry seems a bit unusual. It seems as though most of them are accessed through these little like hand grooves. You know, they're fitted to your hand. You put your hand on something.
Biometrics.
Yeah. Biometrics, but perhaps there's an implant element to it as well. It's not immediately obvious.
Gotcha. So we can remove a hand as needed if we would need to do so. Classic security breaches.
Does that mean that Dega will be exiting the bay alongside Murasaki, or does he have other stuff he wants to do besides that?
I think it's time to step forth into the world. So I click my tongue, and because this horse is coming with us.
Oh, yeah.
But it's a well-trained horse. She's real calm.
Yeah. And
so she knows to just kind of stay a few steps behind me when I call her, in general, because she has seen some stuff.
Ratita steps out into the hallway. It's easily big enough. You could drive like a Jeep down this thing, no problemo. So you have plenty of room.
Glad to see it. So looking, we don't have really like a map that we got from the Enclave, right?
Yeah, you do not have anything of that.
We do not have a map, yeah. So just a brief reconnoiter of, and I'm sure the other two will probably be able to gain access to something like a map by hacking or doing something. But empty hallway to my left, to my right, all the way down.
Gently circling hallways in both directions, but lots of signage. Just because everything is high-tech around here doesn't mean that they don't have signs. And things are very clearly labeled. What sort of things would Dega maybe be looking for?
Well, he'd be looking for actually something like a fire exit or a fire escape, because he's already thinking if we trip an alarm or things go on lockdown, it's good to know where those kinds of paths are. Even if I know we're going to try to teleport out, but if crew is moving, I want to know where they'd be going.
Absolutely.
Where they might be ordered to go.
And fortunately, those sort of emergency evacuations things, signs for those are littered everywhere across any sort of official structure. And sure enough, you find it. Escape pods.
Perfect. Because also, if we scuttle this boat and the hacker attempts to escape, I want to be able to stop them.
Quite.
And then the other item that I'm curious about is where the weapons array is. Because that's the other wrinkle here, is that they've got their big space gun pointed straight down, and I'd want to know where that is in case we want to sabotage it.
Absolutely. So to give you an idea, this thing is shaped, again, like a series of 3 rings that are spinning. But in this, those like you are here maps that you see in a lot of buildings? There's one of those. It's a little more slick than that, as you might imagine. And all the rings are just kind of organized, 1, 2, 3, rather than as they are spinning about. You guys are on the outermost ring, which includes things like the escape pods, the cargo bays, and the weapon systems. Obviously, you don't want to have a weapon system like blasting past another ring. Whereas the innermost rings are more of like the tech and like living quarters and things like that. So this outermost ring is where a lot of that action seems to happen. And fortunately, this little map that you found on the wall, while it doesn't have every single detail, like it's not going to label everything, it does label some of the big ones, like, again, the escape pods, which it has at 2 sides of the rings of the ring, and it's in case one is compromised.
Copy that. I'll maybe pass to...
Yep, absolutely. Jumping over to Siri, actions you would like to take both as Murasaki is interrogating the drone, so to speak, and immediately thereafter.
Okay, so as Murasaki's interrogating the drone, I want to just try viewpoint one more time. It's not going to work, but I need to try it because while she's making action.
Yeah, absolutely. This is like flicking a ping pong ball at a stone wall, just dunk and it bounces right off.
Okay, I've been reeling about this. There is one path forward for me, but I need to confer with my compatriots before I do it because it's real dumb.
Okay.
So once we're all not interrogating someone, I will go up to you guys.
Yep, absolutely. It's at this point, Dega is currently looking at some of the signage and maps, like off to the side of the wall, horse right behind him. Murasaki has just said, be at your ease to the drone, who has, after the normal 5-second delay, turns and walks smartly off as though nothing happened. Murasaki still has ID card in hand. Siri, what would you say?
So, I can't get into their brains because their brains aren't there. We could let him into my brain, and then I would know where his brain is.
This might not be a terrible idea. And I think that in particular, I'd like to pitch that I am more open to this being a good idea. And with my 2 pluses to intelligence, I hope it actually is a good idea. Having just read Go and cybersecurity, and reconsidering the chapter and parables about baiting people into giving you appropriate inputs, so that you can exploit vulnerabilities that otherwise wouldn't be present.
The other thing I would throw, just to interrogate a bit, what would make Murasaki think, in her opinion, that this is a good plan? Like, what's making her confident in it? Besides what you just said,
that's what I was
which is
just
a great
trying to.
point. Yeah.
I think I'm specifically thinking about scams, and also certainly a definitely bit of court intrigue, I'll say, from back home, where, frequently the best way to get information is to pretend you already know things, right? To let on that you are already in on a secret and then let people talk. So, like, letting on that we are actually, this is a perfectly normal thing to happen, to let you in. To let you think that you have the upper hand, may be the best way to get more information.
Yep, absolutely. To that end, the only other thing that I would toss in is obviously the fact that at least one person from the hacker's perspective is suddenly aboard the ship. That is the one thing that could be like a serious alarm bell for him. And so, assuming that can be some way bypassed, I think that your thoughts are exactly in the right direction.
Here's my pitch, and I'll just be saying this in character because why not?
Yeah.
I've played this card before. Oh no, I'm a beautiful woman and I accidentally got teleported onto this spaceship. Oh no! And it does sometimes work, not all the time, but like a 50-50 shot, probably.
A damsel in distress ploy?
Yeah, pretty much. I don't know if it's entirely gonna work, but it's a possibility.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a risk. If it could play our hand if the hacker knows about the Enclave.
It's very unclear who and who doesn't know about it. I get confused all the time.
Mm-hmm. Well, and especially if he takes you over, then
I don't think he's reading people's minds is the thing. I think he just takes them over and makes them do things. I don't think he'll get access to my memory.
No, it's if he takes you over, I might have to shoot you.
I can be shot twice in non-vital organs. I will allow this.
Without dying?
Well, no, just like for me, like I'll forgive you for those two things.
So Murasaki is a rather composed individual. So for my fun fact, I would like to do something that is eccentric for her, but perhaps a little bit more reserved. I think she takes out her fan and starts to flutter it a little bit excitedly, and says like, "Did you know that 0.98% of teleportations do go off target?" In other words, this is the kind of thing that isn't necessarily likely to happen, but is not unheard of, and it could very well be just the kind of like bad luck that a hacker might have. It's just like, oh my gosh, I have to deal with this. Like,
Clarke, that is a delightful fun fact. I love it.
What percentage was that?
I think I heard 0.89, but
that's really high.
Yeah.
But, like, Dega's frightened
that develop teleportation technology. Well, let's put it this way. Typically, that's the last technology that they develop.
Yeah, I'm just real worried about how many teleports they're going to have me do before I'm a free man, and if it's after about 200, it's likely I'll end up somewhere I shouldn't be.
You might be
I'm
a free
real
man, so to
concerned.
speak, a little too free.
Yeah.
If we do this quickly, perhaps there will be one less.
Real quick, I'm just gonna do a weird magic thing, and then we'll be. Can I take off my hat? I would like to put one of my mirrors in my hat, one of my mirrors in my hand, and then do a dumbass viewpoint thing that I'm making up right now.
I think I know the one you're doing because you've done something very similar before. But
it's similar to putting. So I did a viewpoint previously where I put a specific memory into the mirror, or into my hat specifically, in order to get out of my brain. What I want to do right now is cast viewpoint on myself through the mirror circle. What? Oh God, I don't know. Okay, so I'm just gonna talk that. So basically, my goal is to have a backup system where I can give one of my mirrors to one of my compatriots, and then if I get fully mind controlled, they can smash it on the ground. And maybe I'll be able to break free. So, here's what it is. I would like to put like a viewpoint on hold in the mirror, and then when it shatters, it goes off, and I viewpoint myself, and hopefully we'll regain consciousness.
Hypothetically sick idea, paired action.
A bunch of mirror crap.
You're in a good direction starting off so far.
Okay.
Think of the idea of storing. How would you store something in there? You have one in the hat that already kind of lends it in that direction.
I have one of my mirrors is a compact mirror.
Yeah,
it like closes.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, so I want to cast. I'll do it in the hat because the hat does extra magic juice. I'll like stick my hand in the hat with one of my. I'll just use one of my mirrors. Do a viewpoint like this. Do a little Muppet Kermit voice, and then smack the mirror closed.
Yeah, and look very satisfied with yourself, despite from the outside you looking like a complete lunatic.
Yeah, I can do a good Kermit voice. I think Siri's bad at impressions. She did a very shitty one. Okay,
right, I got a song to send you after this. That's very funny.
I'll give this mirror. I'm gonna give it to Dega because I think you're able to pull the trigger, so to speak. So I'll hand you the mirror and say, if I start to try to kill you, shoot the mirror, I guess.
Or I'll just toss it right against the wall. It'll smash right away. I don't mind the bad luck.
Oh yeah, I mean it seems like you have enough. So
plenty to go around.
Great. So that's my plan. I'm gonna go out and try to get mind controlled.
Big smiles. Is she gonna go trotting off?
Yeah, I'll let other people do stuff while I question all my decisions, I guess.
Going down a
I
hallway?
want to shadow her. That was my thinking. Like, stealthily shadow her. Staying unnoticed, but, be paces behind, right? Around the corner. That kind of thing.
Yep, absolutely. Of note, well, actually, before I get to of note, as Siri goes off, left or right?
Left.
Sure. And with Dega getting in line to follow up, Murasaki, actions you would like to take. Would you also like to follow Siri, or are you going to be going elsewhere?
I think I'll follow Siri. I have a backup plan in case the mirror thing doesn't work.
Yeah.
Thank God.
Absolutely. Now, as you guys are trotting along, Siri, your sensory is 2 pluses, I believe, yeah? I think it is still 2 pluses.
Yeah, I haven't been upping it much.
Yeah. And so as Siri would go along, 2 plus is nothing to sneeze at, and as such, she would also be able to see that, like, around her as she is walking, the space station, it's comfy, it's pleasant, it's only slightly disorienting when you look out of the window. I exactly get that, the thing off that you were given. The thing that you would notice is that as you are moving, as soon as you get rid of that little, the little flower that you were given, the spaceship starts to react to you more. Whenever you pass by one of those interfaces, it would like light up slightly and text on screen, "Hello, how can I help you this afternoon?" Whenever you go past a door, the door would open for you preemptively in case you want to go through it. But only the unimportant doors to things, like the foyer to a bathroom or to a cafeteria or something like that.
Okay. I want to take my fan out and be like trying to get attention. If I see something that says, "How can I help you?" I want to go, "Oh, thank God somebody can help me. I think I got teleported here by mistake. I don't know what to do."
My stars.
Oh my goodness, I can't believe. Can you tell I'm good at accents? Yeah.
You would see that the little like hand divot would light up.
I put my hand on it.
And immediately, an outside observer would not see anything of this. But to Siri, instead of seeing what happens on the screen in front of her, she would see literal holographic projections just like pop into the world around her just from touching this thing with her hand. And it's like computer pop-ups, but helpful and in the places you would want them for things like, please tell me how I can assist with you. And there's like a little typing pad, so to speak, where just looking at it, the things that you're thinking appears as text. And there's other things
I can't do any of this. Just bring me to somebody. Somebody can help me. Just show me. I want to talk to a person. A person.
Please connect me to a representative, so to speak.
Pretty much.
And as you were doing so, there's a bit of a moment, and then like the hallucination, so to speak, drop, and you hear, certainly, we will put you through to the control center.
Great. Okay.
And after a moment, the two who are following her would see the screen in front of her ripple, and so too would Siri. You can see that the screen comes through. It's another like uniformed member of the strike platform, who would blink at you and speak very personably, and say, "Hello. Terribly sorry. We need to know who you are, where you came from, and why you're here."
Yes. My name is Siri. I'm from Kansas. I think I was teleported here by mistake. I was supposed to go to my aunt's.
And you see that the person on the other side just kind of looks at you for a second and says, "Right. I think we're going to need to talk about this a little further. If you don't, Siri, was it?"
Yes.
Right.
Dega around the corner.
You're hold position. Don't you worry.
Okay.
We're going to send out a security detail to you just in a moment.
Okay, thank you so much.
We'll resolve this. Now, must know, would you be willing for us to briefly warn you? We need to make absolutely sure you don't have any, illicit ordinances, contraband.
Oh, absolutely. Yes, that's perfectly fine.
Thank you very much.
I would like to know if we should mind this.
I'm going to, stealthily as I can, which is not very stealthy, but I'm going to count on my other two compatriots to hopefully be stealthier than I am, try to remove my Enclave badge and pass it to them.
The Enclave badge cannot technically be removed, but it will become invisible when you don't need it. So it's
Okay,
an incredibly
great.
stealthy artifact, but you can't get rid of it.
Okay, that was the only thing that I was worried about. I think I don't. Oh! I have one
I've
other
tried to
thing to
get
worry
rid of it,
about.
too.
I have one other thing. I want to pass my weird magic thing that I don't understand yet. The flower that possesses people. I want to get the fuck rid of that.
Now,
Excuse me?
are you gonna like?
I don't understand what it does.
Are you like sliding it across the floor?
Yeah, I'll drop it on the ground and then kick it over to you. It's a weird glowing flower. Just don't worry about
Now,
it.
I should note that as the moment Dega and Murasaki see this, it is a pink magnolia flower. It gleams gently. It's a beautiful thing. And both of them, you guys can...
I'm not using it. It's
doesn't
gonna
ma-
happen even if I take it out.
Indeed, it doesn't matter. Only people need to see it. You guys can play this however you would like, but the moment your characters see it, you would feel in the deepest recesses of your stomach a longing for it. And that longing will build over time.
A longing for what? Sorry, I just
The
didn't hear.
flower, the little pink flower
the
that
flower, I
Siri
see.
kicked your way.
I know
Just
this
activated
reference,
it.
and Murasaki probably does too.
This is why I don't understand this item. I don't know why I got it.
I'll put my boot over it if it slides across just to get it out of sight right away.
Yeah. Will you pick it up?
I'll no, it's hidden under my boot.
All right.
So I don't want to reach out toward it or anything.
Yeah. Let me put it another way. How will you not pick it up?
Ah, I see. So, you see, Dega has, in his many years, fallen to temptation many times. And he knows when he's being tempted and is pretty good at resisting for a bit. And then he gives in and goes hard on a vice.
I will.
So he's got
fully-
a tipping point where if
Yep.
it lasts long enough, he goes way off.
I think I might pitch the opposite thing and hopefully get myself into a bit of trouble that we can use as leverage later. I think that Murasaki has a very high opinion of herself and her own self-discipline. Perhaps has some inclination, if conscious or not, as to like what kind of danger this might be, and will pick it up in the full confidence that she will be able to resist the temptation. And in fairness, 2 pluses to will. So we'll see.
I was about to say, even with a baseline will, what you just gave me there, Peter, is a perfectly valid defiance. I fully accept it, especially the bit part. That was exactly what sold it for me. And like you said, 2 pluses to will, resisting temptation is one of the things that stat is best at. But so too is the pride demonstrated by, the confidence demonstrated by Murasaki, fully in character and very apropos. Now, Siri, as you kick that thing away, the screen says, or the person on the screen would say, "Very well, please, would you mind holding position? Again, security will be with you just in a moment. And if you wouldn't mind, please keep your hand right where it is right now on the panel, if that's all right. Is that all right?"
Yes, that's all right. Can I try viewpoint? No, I just used viewpoint. Oh, can I use please, God, Robbie, please, on, so I can viewpoint this guy?
That is, in fact, the name of a perk on Viewpoint.
I named my perk, please, God, please, Robbie, let me use viewpoint again. I've been a really good player this whole time, and I would like to use it just one more time. Please.
God damn it. Yeah, sure, I'll give it to you.
Yes, okay.
Is there a comma after God? Like, is God the title for Robbie? Or is it...
Oh, dear. The description is just please, 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 and then the description, or the name is, and the description is, "Let me use viewpoint again, please, for the love of God." I've interpreted this exact perk quite a few times.
It's a really good perk. I restrict myself to using it once, though. I want to cast viewpoint through the TV, because that's definitely the guy.
Yep, absolutely. And as you put the viewpoint through, are you immediately closing your eyes to see?
Everyone loves that kind of question.
Not loaded at all.
Can I put a veneer on my eyeball?
To make it look like it's open?
Yeah.
Ah, perfect. Yep.
Okay, great. I close my eyes.
And as you do so, you see, looking through the other side, presumably, of the screen, though this one's much smaller, but also there's hallucinations like 3D projections everywhere in this person's field of view. You know, imagine like the day trader computer setup with like 15 monitors that's just spewing numbers everywhere. But in this case, hovering in midair, that are being effortlessly cleared out and like responded to and things by small like looks and gestures. That said, as you are doing so, you can see that as the eyes are flicking around, contending with all of these things flecking before them, the flicking vision pauses.
Drop it. I drop it.
Okay. Dropping the viewpoint or just opening your eyes and leaving the viewpoint active?
I have a theory as to what's going on.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fully drop it.
Yeah. Will you take your hand off of the pad?
No.
Okay. Now jumping over to the other two with the little flower thus sequestered. You obviously heard the entirety of the conversation, but do not know what Siri was just doing. Though you do see that, I'll put it this way, Siri's a bit of a heart on a sleeve kind of person, and at least Murasaki would be able to pick out with a plus to spirit that she is flustered about something. Murasaki, actions you would like to take, and then we're going to jump over to Dega. What's your theory for starters?
I've been thinking about the fact that the non-neuroplanted crew was hacked. And the fact that, like, you know, of the various requests that seem a little bit odd here, the biggest one is that they've asked her to keep her hand on the sensor.
Indeed.
And I am wondering whether or not necessarily, you know, it could be directly causal. Maybe it's as simple as that they've somehow exploited like that interface. But I am trying to figure out whether or not she should really take her hand off right now.
That is an excellent theory, and you're very correct that that is a very specific command, and it's an unusually specific command. The main question is, if she does take it away, given that they've asked her to, do you think it would blow cover, or do you think that that's not as big of a concern?
That is also a thing that I'm trying to weigh in my mind.
Sometimes they have you put your hands on the hood and just leave them there, so you don't go drawing a weapon. It could be that, but I don't know if they consider her a threat.
Yeah, I don't think I've spoken this out loud yet, but I do think I'm probably stroking that magnolia inside my sleeve.
Yep. And as you are considering, though I do actually really like Dega's contribution. Well, not necessarily in character, but maybe that's what he's thinking in the back of his head.
Yeah, that's what he's thinking.
Yeah, in that case, what would Murasaki be doing or looking for to confirm or deny this theory as of now?
Let's think. Murasaki is probably, trying to. I get the sense that the Amikaze treatise on Go and cybersecurity probably didn't have a huge section for whatever reason on biotechnology.
Indeed.
And so I'm trying to glean whatever little footnotes, it's in the atmosphere. Like the guy's aware of it. There's footnotes referencing other works. I'm trying to race through different things. I think here's what I'm trying to calculate. I think I'm trying to, at the very least, figure out what legitimate purpose they might have for asking her to keep that hand on the sensor. And if I can't find one, I'm much more likely to go for, some sort of forced action to, potentially blow cover.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, in terms of keeping the hand on the sensor, there's a couple of things cybersecurity that it could be. One, they're sending a security team. They might just want to keep her in that place. That seems somewhat legitimate. Second thing is that given that she's been communicating with them, the communication was only started when she put her hand on the sensor. Maybe they want to make sure they retain a line of communication.
They're able to keep open a line of communication.
Yeah.
Okay.
Those are probably the two most legitimate reasons they could.
That is a simple enough theory. The second one, at least, that I think that'll calm my nerves for the moment. But I'm still going to keep this in the back of my brain.
Yep, absolutely. And as Murasaki is going through this, Dega, sensory stat. I believe you have a plus to it. Is that correct?
Correct. I'm single plus.
Absolutely. And because of that, you would hear the very distant sounds of doors opening, like a, you know what I mean? It's a ways away, and the faint click, click, click of people along tile echoes wildly in here. But it's imminent that the security team is approaching. Actions that Dega would like to take.
Yeah, can I glean how many people I think are in that contingent?
3.
Trace. I would like to. I know most of this area is smooth hallway. I want, since I know what way they're coming from, about how many. I actually want to position myself in an Overwatch position in relation to Siri. I want to reposition so I've got some cover, and because I'm not about to get dry gulched on a space station. That would be not the way that I plan to die. So,
God, I love that you know all the Western lingo. It's so fun.
Almost as though he's studied for this for years.
Maybe. I am a man of a type. So, and really, I imagine Dega's job here is to make sure these two survive, really, at the end of the day. And so I'm going to position myself, whether that be around another corner, right where they're not coming from positionally, or behind, some sort of bulkhead or something like that, right? I'm going to look around for an advantageous angle on the scene.
You have a couple, actually. One of them is that, like you said, or around a bulkhead. Bingo. There's a couple of these extremely heavy lips that are against the wall that easily could tuck your body behind. You could open one of the smaller nearby doors and just lurk in the doorway. The doors seem to automatically stay open when people are nearby, so that's an option you have. Of course, the door will be open. Exactly.
Yeah.
Last thing is the ceiling, if you can get up there, has some promise, given that the ceiling is made up of a bit of a lattice that not only contains some of the wiring and the plumbing and stuff like that for the station so it's easily accessible, but also allows the lights to kind of hang down a little bit so they can be more easily changed.
I like that, because people don't look up.
Yeah.
They never look up.
The question is
how to get I'm going to try to scamper my way up there. Oh, sorry, what was that?
You have a horse you can stand on.
Yeah, though that at least gives me the leg up I need to reach it.
Yeah, do you want to do so? Just like that.
See, they're versatile animals. So I'm gonna crawl my way up there
Do you have a plus to
and
might?
get a vantage point. Oh, sorry, what was that?
Do you have a plus to might?
I do.
Hell yeah.
I'm single
All
plus
right.
might.
Yeah, the muscle up then is going to be way more feasible. And after clambering your way up, it's not the most elegant thing, but you got a moment and you got some pluses to skill as well. But you can get
Elegance is not a word to describe Dega.
Yeah. Now that you're up here, I should note there is something kind of off that you notice, which is that the like I said, there's plumbing up here, and you see that one of the plumbing lines actually looks like it has a leak.
I've got decent senses. Now, is it leaking? We're talking water, sewage, other stuff. Like, can I just
It's a bit
quick
shimmery,
glance?
definitely not sewage. Maybe a coolant or something.
We're
like that.
getting well beyond Dega's knowledge, I'd wager. So
Yeah.
it's something tech is leaking.
Yeah.
Now he
Oh,
does. Now we do know
If
that,
we're talking like
sorry.
Western era, it would look like panhandler water, with flakes. in it.
It's like the what is that called? It's what comes down the sluice.
Yeah, slurry.
There's a term
maybe,
for this.
something like that.
Yeah, it's like a slurry. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna log that mentally
Mhm.
to tell to my betters when it comes to book learning shortly. But in the meantime, get out the old 6-shooter, cock it, have it ready to cover Siri.
Easily done. And now briefly jumping back to Murasaki before back over to Siri. Murasaki would, of course, see Dega getting up into the lattice. Other actions that she would like to take, what would she like to do initially?
I think Murasaki sees the strategic advantage, but is also not about that. And we'll probably just, we've described several different alcoves coming out of the walls. I think Murasaki is going to calmly walk over to the opposite wall, such that in the same way that people don't tend to look up, they also don't tend to look left and right when walking through a door.
Yeah, exactly.
I think I'll just kind of stand on the opposite wall in a place where I can sort of be in the shadows just a little bit. I'm fairly confident in the protection afforded to me by my cherry blossom. And I don't have a reason to suspect yet that the people who would be coming to get us aren't also compromised. So.
Yep. And as you are doing so, you would start to hear immediately, like pretty much just after you hide, you would start to hear the click, click, click of shoes coming in your direction as well. The other thing that you would hear, quite soft, is a single drip of water. You only pick it out because of how echoey it is in here. It's not very substantial, but it does break the otherwise relative silence.
Okay. I think under the circumstances, there's enough other things going on, and a leaky faucet is not sufficient enough cue that Murasaki is going to investigate, although Clarke really wanted to know.
And from here, we're going to jump back over to Siri. Hand is still on the pad. What would she like to do?
Okay, so I maybe did an impulsive thing. I've got +1 to intelligence. Did he notice me, or maybe was he just thinking about something and stared off into space for a second?
At a guess, with a space station and 15 people to control, staring off into space is probably not a luxury that can be afforded to a hacker.
Okay. So
Did you just say 15 people to control?
I said,
the crew is 15 people.
Yeah, about
I think.
15
Okay.
people. Yeah.
I don't think I caught that detail before,
Oh,
so that's
pardon me.
relevant. It's okay.
So that's a little bit of a The other thing I've realized is that my lie was pretty bad, and I should have said I was slightly important so he wouldn't murder me. So that's also something I've been thinking about. But I don't really have any actions. I sort of just have regrets.
Yeah.
Dega
I'm not pitching this as a fun fact, but
the
whole Kansan Empire, massive territorial expansion, 300-year dynasty, very prominent part of 27th century Earth.
Yeah, no, I could. He doesn't know what Kansas is. Yeah, I'll just start going.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yep, welcome to Dega's life. No action, just regret.
You would hear the footsteps.
Sorry, what?
Sorry, you would hear the footsteps drawing closer. Your allies squirrel themselves away. The horse is chilling, but as
Oh,
yep,
I don't want my eyeballs aren't veneered anymore. That's fine. I would just like to fan myself to calm down so that I can act fake, stupid, good.
yeah, and around the corner, very long corner, given that it's a big old ring, you would see three individuals kind of trotting into view. Siri would feel a little shiver down the back of her neck, but she would see that as they kind of trot a little closer, again, they don't look like they're armed for combat, so to speak. You don't even see a weapon on their person.
Easy pickings.
But as they kind of come marching up, Siri would notice one other kind of odd thing about them, which is that, as you might imagine, two of them are robotic, and one of them is not. Holds himself a lot more naturally. The thing that's kind of weird about it is that the two robotic ones, each of them is like holding stuff in their hands. You can see that it's a combination of like food, water. You know, it almost looks like survival rations. There's a med kit there, maybe just in case you're hurt. And you would also see that they look like they have a couple of like, what's a good word for this? Like little oxygen masks, like you might get off of like a plane that's going down. You know what I mean? So they have this like a medley of kit in their hands.
Question: the guy who's acting more natural, does his face match the guy's face on the TV?
No.
Okay. Okay, and can I see their, like, device thingies?
They're at the back of the heads, so no.
Okay, great.
Can
Okay.
I see them? Because I am theoretically...
Indeed. As soon as they like come up to Siri, you would be in perfect sight to see them, as would Dega. And you can see that all three of them have the same, like, again, they would be called scepters, that are kind of like put into the back of their heads. They, again, splayed out like some octopus that stretches from the like top of their scalp down to the base of their like shoulder blades.
Okay. So, question, if I may.
Yeah, please.
Does Murasaki think that the greater ease of the central figure, like, is consistent with like the degree of like processing power and attention that the hacker could potentially muster if they were really focusing on making one person work? Or does they think that there is something like a looser element of control, or possibly some complicity, some other explanation? In other words, like, is this guy just a very like finely controlled puppet, or is there some other thing going on?
Seems equally plausible right now. You'd have to wait and see how they spoke, because obviously you now
Very
have an
fair.
idea of speech patterns, at least going off the person who was on the screen.
And we know that all three of them do have the neural implant.
They do. Yeah.
That weights me in a direction.
Totally. It's an excellent question, though. Dega, any things you would like to do, check out, etc., before Siri starts talking?
No, I'm kind of in the position I need to be, and despite his instinct of shoot first and let God sort it out, he will wait and let this play out. Right?
Certainly.
He's on the ready. He's coiled, but gonna let it play.
Absolutely. And the lead, the one who looks more natural, would give an odd little salute. It looks maybe like their version of waving a hand or a bow or something like that, but it looks kind of foreign and strange to Siri, almost comical, like a little sideways dip. And after doing so, this individual would say, again, earnestly, "Hello there, Siri, I believe it was. I would say it's a pleasure to have you aboard, but I'd be perfectly honest with you, ma'am. We are utterly bamboozled by your presence and a little disturbed. This is a military vessel, you might understand."
Oh, I had no idea. I'm so I realized something must have gone really wrong.
Of course.
Can I take my hand off this thing?
Oh, yeah. Please hold your position, though,
thank
if
you.
that's all right. He says,
Oh, yeah,
again,
absolutely.
this is a high security vessel. We can't be having anyone making sudden movements. You understand how it goes. This is a very sensitive
completely
sort of
understand.
situation. And the fact that you are here is, I'll be perfectly honest, this could potentially compromise a lot. And so we had something that we wanted to speak with you about, if that's all right.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the first thing that we'd like to offer is not something pleasant, but I think it's probably going to be the best option. If you have something else you prefer, that's fine. That is, he holds up one of the gas masks. we would like to put you under anesthetic while we're conducting our operation, get you safely back down planet side, and then get you back home. That way you don't have to worry about any of the stuff going on. You don't have to deal with re-entry. It's a very unpleasant process. You understand. Now, it'll just feel like going to sleep. You'll be up before you know it. Second option that we'd have for you is we could try to get you to one of our escape pods. A couple problems with that. There's finite of those. And if we go down, we don't want to be down an escape pod. You understand me. Additionally, the escape pod, it's not fun. You're going to have to deal with re-entry. Miserable process. Wouldn't really recommend it. What we cannot do is we can't have you up here, and we certainly can't have you roaming around. You understand? Real quick, jumping briefly back to Murasaki, he speaks almost identically to the guy that was speaking out of the screen earlier.
Okay. I think my mental calculation is leaning towards finely controlled puppet right now.
Yeah, almost certainly.
It's that level of precision.
Yep. He even, again, plus to spirit, he even feels the same. But jumping back over to Siri, Siri's massive +5 to spirit would pick out quite a lot about this. For the one, definitely the same person. Beyond a shadow of a doubt for her. 2, being polite, of course. Being formal, trying to be understanding. Shitting his pants. Like, this is a very serious situation. And he's like on the edge of his seat, trying to do this in the most elegant, smooth it over way possible.
Yeah. I completely understand, and I'm really so sorry. They're not here with me, obviously, because the teleportation went wrong, but my security team obviously wouldn't want me to be taking gas just in case something happens.
The security
or anything.
team?
Well, it's not really like a team. It's just a couple of people who come with me when I'm going places. But obviously the teleportation went wrong. I'm sure it'll be fine. But there, is there
Do you have ID?
Yes, absolutely. I'm gonna take. Do I have paper? Give me paper, please.
I'll give you
Plus
paper.
2 luck.
I'm
Thank
a
you.
nice guy.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Can I
Yep.
help at all by like flashing the ID card that I confiscated earlier over their shoulder in case it helps her make an illusion?
I'm actually perfectly fine with Murasaki just holding one up. Because Siri, like, Murasaki is directly behind them and is in Siri's line of sight.
Okay, in my glance at it, I would like to make something that looks slightly similar, got my face on it. I want to swap out anything that looks military with stuff that I can shit out my pants from time in the questing realm in my previous kingdom.
Yep,
just like
absolutely.
random royalty stuff.
Certainly, and as you do so, it's an easy illusion for Siri. You can see that he just kind of takes a glance at it and he says, that's a pretty old format. It's not going to be compatible with our systems. He indicates
We're a little bit of a dated place.
Yeah, with teleporters?
Gosh, I've been trying to fix it, and it's just the bureaucratic system.
You've been trying to fix it. Okay. Okay. There's a lot more to this than I think I'm understanding right now. Before we go further, I know that teleportation can be a very dehydrating process. Would you like a water? We have water. We have food. We have rations for you. Sometimes, the contents of your stomach can get
Vibe
lost.
check on that. Is that going to make me hypnotized?
He really wants you to drink the water.
But is it because it's going to kill me or because I'm going to get hypnotized?
Not clear. All you know is he really wants you to drink the water. You get like a fingers crossed, please do it.
Can I just chime in with intelligence and see if Murasaki is picking up on this?
Yeah, what's up?
I just want to know if what he's claiming that teleportation is frequently a dehydrating process is at all true.
In this area, for these people's teleporters, it's plausible. You'd have to pop out a book to know for sure, though. And
fair enough.
Kind of a tricky position to do that. While Siri is considering, Dega, any other actions for you? Any other things you're looking for? Or are you going to just hold position and wait with that finger on the trigger?
Yeah, so, they're not armed, and, he's incredibly suspicious of this bottle of water. But he doesn't. I don't want to give up my position by interacting with these guys. So I think I'll just I'll do one more like round the table waiting to see what develops. But I am, like I said, coiled here.
Yeah, that's a good word for it.
Yeah, ready to, do what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Basically, like, I want to be ready to shoot, the bottle out of her hand, or it's out of somebody's hand if I think I need to. Like, that's kind of what I'm ready to
Or
do.
the hand out of somebody's hand.
Yeah, just shoot something out of somebody's hand. Maybe the hand off of somebody's hand.
Indeed, yeah.
But we'll see what needs to happen.
And Siri, what do you got?
So, number one, it's in this moment that I realized I forgot to ask the most crucial question in the opening, which is, do they have magic? We didn't ask that question. That was a mistake.
I will not give you that, unfortunately.
Yeah, I know. That's just a regret. That's another one of my regrets for this mission. I'm gonna drink the water, and with +2 luck, just pray to God that I get hypnotized and don't die. I would really like to not die right now.
You guys would see Siri. Is Siri going to be casual about this, or is she like...
I'm gonna go, oh, thank you. It's not poison, is it? I have to ask. My security team would murder me.
You do one of the questionable, like...
Yeah. Pour it backwards onto the ground.
Yeah, pour it over your
For an
shoulder.
illusionist, might be feasible. But...
It would work on my 4-year-old. Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Anyways, and as you do so, you see that the person goes from looking concerned. You can see that he has... I don't really know if now's the time for such jocularity, of course.
I'm sorry. Okay, vibe check on that. Did I get bang on the money or just almost on the money?
There was like a falling out of the pit of the stomach, but it wasn't quite I've been found out. You know what I mean? Just like
okay, great. I'm gonna drink it.
Yeah, and as you down it, tastes nice. Got a little sparkle to it, and you would feel the stress leave him, and he'd say, "Good, I'm very glad. Again, teleportation is a stressful process. We're going to make sure you're all right." So again, between the escape pod and the anesthesia, what would you prefer? We could do either.
Gosh, I'm not sure. I feel like both feel a little funky to me.
Yeah, I'm sure it does feel funky, but just lean into that feeling. It's all going to be okay. And Siri falls unconscious. The two of you see the moment that her mind leaves her. And you would also see that something silver pops out of her mouth. Like a little tendril that kind of winds its way up into a nostril.
You know what? Shoot first, ask questions later. Dega, go. I think I'm going to run for Murasaki. For Siri. I have a little plan in place, but I think before I could do that, Dega would probably take the spotlight.
Dega,
Yeah, so-
you hear Murasaki yell. What do you want to do?
Yeah, so, he says, the jig is up, or something, or she says, shoot. So, okay, so like a little worm or something effectively
Yeah,
is
a little
coming out?
tendril.
That means there's a giant fucking thing in me!
Yeah, that's really gross. So from where I am, I can't really get something. Well, I mean, I could jump down. Oh, Dega.
Shoot something!
If
Well-
he's hesitating, I think that might give me enough time to get there. And like, I'm still under illusion. Maybe I've picked up that he's not about to strike for whatever good reason. I'm still under illusion. As far as like everybody knows, I'm just a random person coming by. I'm gonna try something. This is probably not how you designed the feature.
Never is. Let's hear it.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
go for it. Because I'm not gonna I can't shoot the tendril or something. So I'll let you see if you could save her before I take out the other guys, right?
Mm-hmm. So, Murasaki, widely read individual in a number of different fields, magically inclined towards cybersecurity at the moment, also understands a little bit of biology, understands processes of homeostasis, understands how disease and parasites and invaders place the body into disorder, which is very distressing.
Yeah.
And so with also the bonus of we've got the magic mirror, which I think I'm going to try to pull out to aid me in the process, racing through the magically inclined cybersecurity protocols. I am going to express some dissatisfaction with this mess in the most Murasaki way that I can, which is to say, waves upon water, betray turmoil in the depths. Go, compose yourself.
That is actually a haiku,
And I'm
isn't
going to
it?
try to catalog the disorder in Siri's body
That
and place it back in order.
is a beautiful use of energy worked catalog. And you would see that the catalog pulls from Siri's mouth what looks very much like a scepter. It's smaller than it should be, and it looks like it's made of mercury rather than the sleek metal that makes up the others.
I do get to learn about it.
And as it is ripped from her mouth, you would also hear the voice of the guy who was just speaking to her say, "Shit." However, things that you would like to try to learn about this with a quick catalog before we jump to Dega.
Yeah, I think like on, this is, Murasaki didn't pick up on the water thing before, but I think I would like to know about, you mentioned it's similar to mercury. Probably like to know, are there like chemical interactions or common weak points that are maybe built into this, maybe a fail-safe mechanism that might deactivate it. I'm not necessarily expecting a direct answer here, but some indication of some sort of vulnerability or antidote that might be useful.
Yep, absolutely. It is a nanite construct, and it is assembled through liquid. It cannot be reassembled outside of a liquid matrix.
Okay. That is good to know. Trying to think of what other thing. I will take, Murasaki is smarter than I am. I will take suggestions for other things I should ask.
Well, you can also hold the catalog for a moment, but before we go further, and before I jump to Dega, the actual hacker, or at least the body that he is in, he's not only looking at Murasaki as she rushes out, and it's clear that he can see her because he's looking rather than it being a drone sort of thing. But you can see that rather than brandishing a weapon or anything, for the moment at least, he just kind of like strokes his chin for a moment, just kind of like this, kind of just like shaking his head in like a "how the fuck did you get here" sort of way. But as he is doing so, the other two drones seem to have a different matter entirely. They are not targeting Murasaki. Instead, the both of them are bringing up their palms where there are nodes that are clearly meant to interface with the palm scanners, and they are aiming towards Siri. The nanite has been ripped out of Siri's mouth, by the way, from the catalog, and because catalog caused thing to hover about, it is like floating in midair. Before we go further, however, Dega, action is happening, and you would see the thing ripped out of Siri's mouth as Murasaki goes rushing forward, with the three crewmen behaving as just described. What would you want to do?
I think it's time for a shootout, is what I think.
Yeah! Spotlight!
Don't kill me!
First thing I want to, my gun will now magically reload itself, basically.
Yep.
While this happens. So I go into a very, high noon from up top, fanning the hammer, as it were. The first thing I want to try to shoot, though, is I want to actually shoot the scepter in case it, if it gets let go, is it going to try to crawl back inside Siri?
Indeed.
We ain't about that kind of life around here, okay? So I want to basically shoot out their hands secondarily. First priority would be to take out the little thing, but because these are, at the end of the day, like, these are people taken over by a villain, I'm not going for the head yet. I'm not shooting to kill. I'm shooting to maim, which is only slightly better. That's what I want to do, is just unload defensively, if that makes sense.
Yep. And so you're going for the floating scepter and hand nodes. Is that correct?
Yeah, and blowing those hands right off if I have to. Not like, ooh, ow, my hand, like Batman threw a batarang at. We're talking just, my big iron is going to do what it needs to do.
Yeah, it's getting off the hip. As you start to fire, not only do you have the double plus to skill, but the revolver supernaturally improves your hand speed while you're using it.
Yeah.
It is a blur. Shots just rip through the air. And also, they like bite deep into like the flooring tiles. They don't bounce, thank the Lord, but they rip deep into the flooring tiles. And begin to make it look more reminiscent of like a cheese grater rather than anything else. But so too, it takes you like
it's a hand cannon.
Yeah, it takes like 3 shots to rip the scepter, but the second you clip it, just it bursts, right? The hand
because it's tiny, right? Like
it's really small. It's almost to fit in a mouth, right?
Gross.
But as you are like firing at the hand nodes, you can see that one of them is like charging up an attack, but doesn't manage to pull it off before you shoot. The blowback from you interrupting the shot, however, does cause like, how to describe it, the entirety of the arm to gleam like a red hot poker for a moment.
Oh, there's backlash as it.
Yeah, exactly. And the person like drops to the ground, kind of like sizzling slightly, and like the other hand jumping to clutch their arm. Before you promptly put a hole in that as well.
Just got to be thorough.
That said, the one guy who, is being controlled at the moment whips his head up, and then immediately that body goes blank as well and starts to like raise its hand, babe, to like blast at Siri. But by this point, you have a control in the situation. 18 shots later, the barrel of your gun, like, not quite gleaming, but very
smolders.
Hot. Yeah, exactly. You can see that
and these are black powder shells, baby. These things stink up the whole place.
Yes.
There's all this smoke everywhere.
And that smoke, as we'll soon see, is going to be extremely important in a moment. But you've spent 18 shots. There's 0 operational hands among the opponents, and no, like that one rogue scepter is gone. That said, immediately you hear mechanical devices, especially up at your level. You're right next to where the mechanics are located. You hear doors closing, and more notably, you hear as steam is being let out. That smoke, as it turns out,
a good sign,
gunks up one of the nearer steam dispensers that is close to you. It's kind of like a fire extinguisher, but instead of shooting out spray, it's shooting out steam, right? And that it actually gums up the steam dispenser right by your head, such that you don't get a face full of it immediately.
That's good.
Immediate follow-ups from Dega before I jump back to Murasaki, and then Siri.
Oh, did you guys immediate follow-up?
Yeah, immediate follow-up.
My plan is actually hop down and interpose myself now between Siri and adversaries.
Yep, absolutely.
Now that my cover is blown.
You got a plus to resilience too, if I recall correctly.
Yeah. I have 1+ might, 1+ resilience.
And 1+ reflex. Okay, so easily.
I'm like an all-around physically active 40-something-year-old.
Very all-rounder. As you drop down, Murasaki, follow up from you, bang, 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 bang. Obviously, as you might imagine, her ears are taken off guard by this massive amount of noise. I don't know if she's been around gunfire
We're
before.
shooting a gun in an enclosed space.
Yeah,
this is
but
really loud.
a classic revolver in an enclosed space firing 18 shots in the span of less than 5 seconds, that's a different kind of loud. So her ears are absolutely ringing. She can barely hear a thing. But she would see that the shooting go off. She'd see blood spattering. She would see the scepter blown to smithereens. And not long after, Dega would drop down. But even though she can't hear the distant doors closing, she can see steam starting to be pumped into the hallway from a number of nodes along the ceiling at various interspersed points. What would she like to do? And
okay, it's panic at the moment.
Yep.
Yeah, no. It's super panicky at the moment. I think that first thing that we do is Murasaki is going to, try to cover her own mouth. She's picked up on the fact that water is a bad idea and can put steam and water together. She has passed 2nd grade. Next thing is to, I think, try to tear off part of her own sleeve, and while Siri is coming to, get a improvised mask around her. Mm-hmm. And I think in the course of it, and racing to think about filtration, Siri might pause for just a moment and realize, fun fact, on a space station, you have a limited air supply, which means that there is going to be a very robust air filtration system built into the network of the spaceship. And if she can figure out where that like an access port for that is, or a temperature control gauge, or really even just like a thermostat, we might have a shot of like getting this filtered back out.
That is not only a fantastic fun fact, but it actually plays beautifully with something I mentioned earlier, signage. A filtration system is so important that of course there's going to be signs for it everywhere, and in fact, you can see 2 points in your section of hallway where they actually have a filter access port.
I'll go to whichever one seems closest, and I'm going to just try to like ram some buttons. You know, it might not be the best solution, but I'm hoping with +2 to intelligence and a little bit of magic, we can try to get like, at the very least, like the localized area cleaned out.
Best of all, you have that local cyber security proficiency is going to actually play in here as well, because it gives you an innate understanding of the basics of the tech at the very least. And so because of that, Murasaki whips over, pulls out an access port, and starts to plug in things. And sure enough, it does have, as you might imagine, humidity controls, very sophisticated ones. And currently, the humidity controls are not only set to 100%, they are set at the past 100% fire extinguishing setting.
Gonna negate that shit real fast.
And as she's doing so, you would hear like a distant like, turn on as some like distant fan starts to suck the steam out of the room. But before your very eyes, you can see the setting being retweaked back to where it was before. How do you want to deal with that?
You're
getting anti-hacked.
Yeah, of course. Now we get the hacker war. Okay. So here's what I think. Like, I'm not going to win a brute force war here. I've got, the thermostat and they have the mainframe.
Yep.
So what I want to do, I think, is play in, I think, with the extra catalog and pull in disparate sources of information. I am going to think about like the systems of the spaceship, the things that are likely to be there that might interact, especially with like the temperature control and humidity and local atmosphere regulations, and think about like there's going to be some component somewhere that acts as a catalyst that I can introduce into the air supply in addition to neutralize the mercurial element.
Oh my God!
I want to introduce an additional agent to bind to it and make neutralize it. Backdoor, like it's like while you're distracted, like. I'll keep one hand on the tug of war here, but meanwhile, it's like, and I flip that switch that you're not paying attention to.
There's something fantastic that you mentioned there. You were just talking about filters. He is sneaking metal components in water. A filter should catch that. That means he's turned off the filters for the water supply.
Nice.
Now, how to turn those on and keep them on is another story. But before we go further with that, jumping back over to Siri, the moment after Siri's mind goes from her, it's not as though she's just snapped, and then there's like seconds where she has absolutely no memory. Instead, it would almost feel like she is in like a sensory deprivation tank with like a phone up to her ear, so to speak. And you would hear a voice very different from the one that you was just speaking, but similar cadences, so to speak. And you hear, all right, let's cut the playing, shall we? This is a really important situation. And Kansas, first of all, doesn't exist. Can't fool me with that. Second of all, you did not teleport here by accident.
Who's this?
Less playing dumb. You're a very bright young lady.
I don't know who this is.
Maybe you're actually telling the truth about that, but that's less important than my questions right now. I'm asking the questions right now.
What was it?
I need you to confirm that not only did you not teleport here by accident, but that your cover story is just that, a cover story. I want to get down to the truth of why you're here.
It wasn't. I am actually from Kansas. It's a lot further away from here, maybe, but I am.
If only I had the time to get to the truth of the matter. After a moment, he says, we're going to get your body safe and sound to where it needs to go, which is out of here. All right? I'm not going to kill you. That's not what I'm about.
Okay.
Great.
Vibe check on that. Is he being truthful?
That actually feels truthful.
I roll vibe check.
But it could be by his standards.
There's got to be a reason for what.
That's interesting. Murasaki doesn't know this, but Clarke thinks
Yeah.
it's interesting.
Yeah. 5
I mean,
plus his
Dega
to spirit
considers
is pretty
himself a
powerful.
redistributor of unfair wealth at times, but doesn't make it true.
So, question. In my like altered state, because I don't know that there's a fucking slug coming out of my mouth
No.
or anything. I do know that I'm being hypnotized, which is what I wanted. I don't know. Do I know that these guys are about to come out guns a-blazing?
No. I mean, you could probably guess. It's not a hard jump of logic to get to.
Is viewpoint off cooldown?
Well, it's not off cooldown, but the one you have on him is still activatable. I mean, nope. Tell a lie. You dropped it. So no, that is not still. So
Yeah,
it
'cause
is
I
on
got-
cooldown. The one that you have caught away in your mirror is still good though.
Yeah, but that one's for me. I don't want to be from him. Because outside logic, I just want to drop the bullshit because I know the bullshit's gonna be dropped, but I don't. But Siri doesn't know that the bullshit's about to be dropped, so I gotta keep going with it.
Yeah.
Okay. I was gonna go. Okay. What is my body's gonna be safe?
Yep.
What's happening right now? Is my mind not safe?
He says, your mind is as safe as you'd like it to be. He says, but remember, I'm on the questioning side for today. Maybe sometime in the future you can ask the questions, all right?
Okay.
Good. Now just stay calm. Not going to be fun if you're not calm.
Okay.
Nice. Very good. But he's cut off before he goes further, and Siri comes back to her senses, spluttering with her knees shaking slightly. She can see a strange silvery thing, almost like a star, floating in midair in front of her eyes, and then it's burst into a million pieces and goes away. And she would hear the sounds of gunfire going off, and she would see the forms of people getting like injured and dropping to the ground. And then her vision would kind of like snap back into focus, and as Dega drops down directly in front of her with his back to her.
Plus one to intelligence, and 2 to luck, maybe. I know I drank water. Can I put together that that's the thing that I drank that exploded in front of me?
I'm not going to give you that, but I think it'll be pretty easy to put together when everyone else starts talking.
But I'm worried everybody's gonna do things that are gonna get in my way. Okay,
Indeed.
that's fine. Okay, cool. We're good. I'm
that-
gonna hide.
Yeah, cover's blown, lady, I say.
Before we stop, I want to hide from the guns, please.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Yeah, again, there's alcoves along the wall. You could even like tuck in where that like screen terminal was and just be like,
No, that sounds great.
But by the time Siri is back to her senses, the guns have stopped shooting. So it'd be like, you know, the delayed reaction in a film, like bang, and then, oh God, like 3 seconds later. Now, yeah, pardon me. Dega, the cover's blown, lady. Follow-ups from you after saying so.
I say, welcome back. Anything to report?
He's got
To Siri.
He's got a phone that goes in your head, and he's tried to talk to me, and I just played dumb. But I assume he knows now. And
Okay,
we're
I
all gonna
understood
die?
very little of that, but the jig is up, it sounds like. So I think we need to move, is what we need to do.
He might have a
Have
few
any
other things
idea-
that can go into your head.
Can I
Sorry,
get
what was that?
on the phone with him? How did I get on the phone with him?
Pardon, could Murasaki quickly repeat what she just said?
He might have a few other things that go into your head.
Right.
Like a bullet?
Worse.
No, there's no need to shoot you now. You came out clean. I point at some of the silver splatter.
Yeah.
They put some sort of critter in your mouth. It was very gross.
Are the people in the room still there?
They are still
Oh
there.
yeah, they're probably like grabbing their arms in agony.
Yeah, fortunately, well, half fortunately, shall we say, you can hear that many of them are actually like groaning and gasping, which is a stark contrast to their robotic movements. So like their pain reactions are still normal, even as they're being like following a protocol. But they are currently taking their med kit and are working on treating their wounds.
Right. You're raising your hand.
Yeah, Siri.
I don't want to hog the spotlight though. If somebody else wants to do
quick
something
follow up
first,
from
that's
Siri,
fine.
and then we'll jump to Murasaki.
I was saying, it's all good, right? I was shooting for a bit. I had my scene.
Oh yeah, we'll
Okay.
jump back and forth. We're good.
Yeah.
Can I take one of my fans? I want to break off one of the wooden things, and I want to go and try to stick it down somebody's throat.
And as she goes fishing, the person kind of tries to bat her hand away with their horrible mangled hand.
Put my foot on it.
And they try to kind of go and bat at her with the other one.
Okay, I put my other foot on it. I'm trying to help get the phone out of your mouth.
And
I'll run over and try to help.
yeah,
Don't know what she's doing, but Enclave agent.
yeah, absolutely. And turns out nothing. The mouth is completely clear. And Murasaki would be able to probably have a better idea of why this person already has a scepter on the back of their neck.
Mm-hmm.
All of them?
All
Yeah,
of
the
these ones do.
little fish is how they get you if you're not already a cyborg.
Oh. Are the pieces of the thing, the one that exploded, still around?
Yep, pieces of it are all over the place. It's like a fine, silvery mist that's caked on one wall.
I look at Murasaki.
You know, it's funny.
Can you fix it?
Sorry, I didn't hear out of character. Could you repeat that?
Oh, can you fix the phone that was in my mouth?
I'm sorry. I think Murasaki's ears are also still ringing in character.
Yeah, exactly. I could see her being excuse me, a couple of times.
You get used to it.
So there was a phone in my mouth, right? There was a thing.
Yeah, I think I got it.
Yeah, can you
should
fix
be-
it?
Oh, I could try, but that would take time, and that might not be a luxury that we have anymore.
You don't got a magic that can fix it?
Don't got a magic? Don't you got a magic?
You don't have a magic?
I might, but I may have used it breaking it. Catalog would be the easy way to fix that.
You know, the old adage holds true here. When you're in a strange place, don't drink the water. Right here.
I got an idea. Hold up, can I take my hat?
Yeah.
All right, can I get all the goop in there?
Not all of it won't be neat, but you can kind of shuffle some of the shavings in there, I suppose.
I'm gonna try to get.
Going, hey Siri, I think I don't need this anymore, and I'll hand you back your compact.
Oh, I love you so much. That's great. Okay, great. Yeah, I want to use the compact to scrape all of it in there.
Now, while Siri is doing so, there is still the imminent issue of steam pouring into the hallways. And while Murasaki has figured out a way to potentially deal with the problem, she doesn't yet know exactly how to deal with it permanently. Actions that you guys would like to take, from the sound of that Dega heard of doors closing, you know that he's probably trying to isolate you in just this part and then just flood it with steam.
Well, for the moment, he doesn't know we have a key card. So I'm going to, at least, they were just coming out of a hallway. I think let's drag people into that hallway and use the key card to close the door.
Yep.
So we're
absolutely.
in a, yep.
So you want to do a side room, or are you trying to get down the ring further and get out
I
of
think
this
we want to
segment?
get down the ring. Murasaki's been thinking about radially, organisms that develop radially, and the fact that all the organisms, those essential components, across worlds and dimensions, are rooted at the base of their nervous system towards the center, and the same thing applies to most engineered systems.
Yep. Absolutely.
Meanwhile,
and so to get to that that big door that's locking off this thing, you will have to go through some already mist engulfed area. Not a lot, but a little. And especially if you're dragging people, that might be too much time spent in it. Though you do have a horse.
Yep. We
I was
also
going to
have.
say, throw him over the horse.
Let's get on the horse, and we've got Siri and I at least have the improvised little masks that we put on. I'll, while I'm thinking of it, hand an additional handkerchief to Dega.
Now, of note,
Appreciate it. Tie it like a bandit.
While Dega ties the thing, he would also note that the mist that's kind of coming in kind of leaves a little bubble around him. Reason being is your duster provides you protection against environmental effects.
Environmental hazards, right?
Yeah.
So I'm good.
That's nice.
And what I want to check real fast,
Please,
while they're
do it.
loading people on the horse, is I tap one of the doors, right? These bulkheads that aren't supposed to open, ding, ding, ding. And this is a military facility, but can that thing withstand a horse kick? I don't know. That's what I want to try to determine.
And
They're probably meant to stop laser rifles or some bullshit. But can they stop a horse?
now, looking at this thing, as you might imagine, on a spaceship of this kind, when a section is breached, this door is all that's keeping space from sucking you out to an untimely demise. That said, it's probably not accustomed to kinetic strikes. Obviously, bullets don't really work that well in outer space. And so it's probably more accustomed to different types of weapons. It does feel, I'm not going to say flimsy, obviously it can withstand the vacuum of space, but it doesn't, a horse kick to the right
it's
place.
Not designed.
A horse kick to the right
it's
place.
Not designed to
seems
take a horse impact.
Exactly.
Yeah. All right. Noted. In case the key cards don't work, we've got it back.
Quite. Now, I will note, Dega is a good deal stronger than either of his teammates, and so leaving them to haul bodies onto a horse is probably going to take a good bit of time.
Well, Dega thinks they need the workout. They got to put the reps in if they ever want to bulk up.
Yeah, so he's
they're
taking his
scrawny.
sweet time.
We both get plus to might after this.
Are you done yet?
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'm doing them a favor. Life is a hard life makes hard men, okay? That's how this works.
We're both women.
Yeah, that's the irony of what he says.
Yeah. Now,
be good for him.
As Dega is confidently assessing horse kickability, Siri and Murasaki, actions you would like to take besides presumably hauling people up onto the horse in their wounded state?
I have a plan that I'm formulating based on the information that's been revealed.
Well.
Great. Let's chat while getting on the horse.
And remember, he who chops his own wood is twice warmed, all right? Think of that as you're loading those corpses on the horse.
I turn your horse pink.
Yeah.
Ratita probably likes that.
And also, Siri, at the very least, is actually a pretty competent writer at this point, given, backstory stuff.
Because Ratita don't suffer no fools, okay? He doesn't let anybody just handle her. He's an ornery old horse.
And so, yes, discussing as you guys are mounting up.
Hey, Murasaki, if we, snapped off those neck things, would they die?
Would they?
What is her best guess, and based on what?
My best guess is that no, but significant neural injury is likely without a proper deinstallation.
Checks out.
You want me to test one for science? I was pull out a Bowie knife?
Well,
You can test it.
I mean, what if we just what if we just stabbed it? We didn't touch their actual nerve endings. We just stabbed the little
My suspicion is that there's a deeper level of integration, and it's neurons in the brain. They are plugs that can plug into different things. The outlets might be biological or they might be mechanical, but the system becomes one.
Well, those people are really stupid then for doing that. Speaking of which, I'm
we
going
don't have time to critique their engineering. But, we might have time to critique their engineering. I'm going to use that as my in.
That's why I keep my body nice and free of those contaminants. And then he smokes a cigarette and downs some whiskey or something.
Does the steam put the cigarette out?
No, he has that little bubble around him of his duster.
Yeah, the duster keeps my bad habits chugging along.
With,
for environmental hazards, but not personal
Dega
ones.
deserves to be in prison.
Now, I will say, given that if Murasaki and Siri also wish to board Ratita, she will not be able to carry all three of these.
I'm good.
Of these. So if you want to take
that's
one,
that's a lot.
she can definitely do that. But because neither Siri nor Murasaki are particularly large, but still, one horse, 3 people is not easy. And saddlebags, yeah. And so once they've mounted up and got at least one person on, still diligently trying to bandage their wounds, I should add, completely oblivious to being loaded up onto a horse.
I didn't realize that we were loading on additional people. I thought we were just getting on the horses and hightailing, but
that's perfect. In that case, that's even easier. I thought you guys were loading.
Yeah, we don't need to save these losers. I mean, we can just go.
We're probably fine. They know first aid.
Yeah, excellent.
we can save them by saving the ship.
In that case, loading yourselves up is way faster than anything I was envisioning earlier. Would Dega begin to lead Rotita forwards or other things? Yep.
Say about like running. Which of the stats is like running quickly?
Vigor.
Because I'm thinking. Sorry, what was that?
Vigor.
Okay, which I'm not all that good at. So yeah, riding the horse would definitely be more expedient.
Mm-hmm. You guys go ahead. I'm gonna stick here.
Yep.
Don't eat any weird fish or drink any of the water, though, okay?
Can I eat a telephone? Because that's my plan.
Wouldn't recommend it, but, do what you got to do.
Yeah.
And then I just give it no other thought.
Oh, I'm going to huck the mirror back at you, by the way.
Oh, is this just in case? Oh, all right.
Yeah.
Smash it if you get all spooky. Got it.
Or smash it if you want to talk to me. I have a hunch that I can do something. We'll find out.
So, wait, smash it if I want to talk to you?
Yeah, so you probably won't.
I just don't understand. I'll take your word for it, and I will
mentally
put
just
that
processing
in
her own plan and not paying attention.
Indeed.
Yeah. Dega's not understanding. That's okay. He's not here to understand.
With two people on the horse, Rotita can move fast. Like, Dega can spurn her forwards. And given that Murasaki is the one that has the key card, you guys can start to move quickly. Now, admittedly, the first section with all the steam pouring in, that's going to be the trickiest one for Murasaki. She has the thing up over her face, and I'm guessing she's keeping quite close to Dega. But how is she going to try to get through this initial segment?
Through this initial push? How long is it?
We're talking like on the back of a horse, it's less than 10 seconds. But of course, they took out Siri with just one sip of water.
Less than 10 seconds? I'll try to hold my breath. I think under the circumstances, and with +2 to will, I've got a decent chance there.
Excellent. Are you pinching your nose too? Like a full, like...
Yeah, I mean, like, I've also still got, like, the cloth over it as well, so I'd be holding it in place.
Will you be passing Dega the key card as he is at the front of the horse?
I think that's wise.
Yeah. And with her focusing on, not breathing, it definitely would be hard to be working that at the same time. And as you, as Rotita is spurned forward and Murasaki focuses in, she immediately can actually, feel the little particles. Like, it's not like she feels them literally assaulting her, but she can feel these, little tugs at her senses that don't feel like they belong here. Even though she's doing a great job sealing herself off, it's as though they're trying to get in through her skin. You know what I mean? Just touching the steam is affecting her. That said, that double plus to will and keeping her breath held is doing the trick. And
also, probably useful that Murasaki's culture would have worn full face cosmetics. So I have a light dusting of powder over, as an insulating layer over my skin.
That is so relevant. I would never have thought how relevant that is. That's sick.
I wouldn't have either, but here we are.
Yeah, and because of that, she is, even though she is fighting for it, she can keep her senses right up until well past the point where Dega is approaching the door. The key card thing, it's super obvious. It's like a tap here thing.
It's a useful sign.
Yeah, he could just be like, how do you do it? Bink. All right, that did it.
Yeah, just smack it with it. It works, right?
Yeah, and it apertures open. You barely need to slow down on Rotita to keep on charging through. But as soon as you breach this door, up ahead, you can hear other doors being closed, as though he's reacting to it. And you, sure enough, in this section of hallway, hear the of more being pumped in. But it's way clearer now. He's being purely reactionary, and you have a lot of speed on your side at this point.
Plan ahead, yeah.
Keep moving towards the center.
Yeah.
He's too slow on the draw.
Yeah. And also, given that Dega took the time in advance to look at the signage, he knows the way to the center. He knows that up ahead there's a left, and then after that he only has to circle 90 degrees around the circle before he can turn right and go all the way in. And so the two of you start blitzing through the space station. Now, of course, it feels as though you're just kind of running along rings, but in reality, this whole thing is spinning the entire time you are doing so. And so every time you pass by a panoramic window and look outside, your vertigo would kick in for the moment as you're disoriented by the surroundings. That said,
I make idle chat with I make idle chat as we ride. I've always wondered why you'd put windows on a space station. Seems like a big liability, Get one crack in that thing and the whole section goes, right? I mean, Am I right? You know.
It's not for structural integrity. It's for psychological integrity. People go stir crazy without them.
Give me that's gonna make me stir crazy just looking at that. He's just like making idle conversation.
Yeah.
Dega's blood pressure and heart rate doesn't rise that much in these scenes, so it's like really normal for him.
Mm-hmm.
I have an idea. Move towards
That's
the
good because
center.
I don't. I'm just going to where I think I can kill this guy.
He took out the filters. There's a city-destroying weapon on this ship. They never install those without safety procedures. They generate massive amounts of energy. They have a coolant system. And the most obvious coolant is water.
Yep, same idea. Yep.
If we can access the port system for the plumbing, we should be able to activate a safety protocol to flood the reactors, which will at least temporarily neutralize the weapon and also, I think, evaporate out the contaminant.
Stick a rock in the tailpipe. Got it.
More or less.
Yep.
That's my plan. Hope it works.
That is a genuinely fantastic plan. Double plus to intelligence says go for it.
But obviously, we got to pitch this in the right way. And as a dramatic thing, we can't have an easy access plumbing port near us. That's my pitch. We have to have some dramatically appropriate location for this.
It's at the center, along with a lot of their other essential systems.
So I'll use my knowledge of having reviewed the layout to help action on Murasaki's plan.
Now, as
take us there.
As Dega is charging through, obviously, things are fizzing in, and you guys deal with the closed apertures. You just keycard effortlessly through it. But that said, there's no emergency klaxon. Obviously, it's not like he has to alert anyone to this. There's no auto turrets that spring up. That would be a massive liability on a space station. And so he seems to just be trying to stall you, and just be trying to keep you moving. He
wasn't counting on the horse.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are moving way faster than someone aboard a space
station. Can we do
station.
a zoom out montage sequence where it's just kind of like a little puzzle game where it's just playing block
clickety click. Every single one of us made the same hand movement at the same time.
Yeah, we all imagined the same thing.
Yep. And jumping back over, Siri, while these two are charging through the space station, what would you be doing?
Here's my dumb plan. Okay, we got my hat. We got the mist in the air, which I don't know what's going on with that, but I know what's going on with that. I love pronouns. And then I don't have my mirror anymore. I got a bunch of I have my other mirror. I want to take my other mirror. Okay, we're gonna do some mirror bullshit again. Okay, mirror in the hat. All the little scrappy nonsense thing in the hat. Break the mirror, shake it up, and then hopefully if I eat it, it'll work, and I'll be able to talk to the guy again. Because the mirror is a communication device, and that thing used to be a communication device, and the hat is magic, and I'm magic, and the air's magic, maybe. And so something.
Wait, are you eating a mirror?
Maybe. I don't know. Fuck off. You're not my dad.
So this is a manifestation.
I mean, his time scale is more great.
I guess you could call it a manifestation. I have plus 5 to arcane, please.
Yeah, that is a big old arcane stat. There's 2.
My consequence will be that my throat gets ripped up by all the glass.
That's what I was about to say. Yeah.
I'll take that.
As you kind of bring it out and kind of put it to your mouth, I will say, Siri's self-preservation instincts are not going to be happy with swallowing glass. How will you actually do what you intend and put glass in your mouth?
I already broke off a piece of my fan. I would like to put all the contents in the fan, wrap it up like a dumpling, and then try to swallow it.
This is such a Siri energy work. Yeah.
You got something to wash that down? Don't drink the water, though, okay?
I will say, this doesn't make it...
Oh, shit, wait, is there a second glass of water?
Yeah, they had 2 bottles.
Can I try the second glass first?
Yeah, Siri's mashed everything up and it was just Yeah, you can take up the bottle. Like the people who are like
Right, just-
repairing their injuries are completely ignoring her.
Great. I would like to try the second bottle to see if there's goop in that one too.
But you can't see anything, but do you want to drink it?
I mean, I
Yeah,
can
it,
see it in
like,
the first glass. Yeah, I'm
activates
just
after
gonna
you
chug
drink
it.
And again, a little bit of a sparkle. Tastes identical. Goes down easy. There's a pause, and then boom, out like a light.
I didn't have to eat glass. That's great.
That's such a win.
We call that a win around here.
Now, as Siri
We're gonna
does
put that on a T-shirt. That's official Enclave merch now.
As she does so, again, Siri would enter this sensory deprivation, right? And after a moment, hello again.
Hi. So they blew everything up pretty fast. So I thought maybe we should actually just be honest, or I should actually just be honest.
I'm delighted to hear it.
Okay, great. So we were sent to stop you from blowing up a planet or something like that. I'm not quite. The details are a little fuzzy for me.
I can tell.
I'm confused because when you told me that you didn't want to hurt me, I believed you. So then why do you want to blow up a planet?
I have no interest in blowing up a planet.
And what do you have an interest in?
He says, I don't really see any particular benefit in sharing that information with you.
The benefit is that I am fine with the other two, but if your reason is good enough, I'll sabotage them.
There's a moment. He says, all right, we can work on this.
Yeah, when he thinks about the man with a gun.
Yeah, exactly. He says, if this is the case, I'm going to need you to call off your goons.
I'll do my best. They sort of have a mind of their own, but I can try.
Yeah, I don't quite have that problem. All right.
Yeah, pick that up.
And he would say, I'm about to take out probably one of the most consequential military facilities that is in my sector.
Why?
Well, I don't really see a better way of dealing with the Hawks, you know?
Kansas isn't a made-up place. I'm from a real far away town. I don't know what a hawk is.
Warhawk. You know, saber rattlers.
You're gonna have to dumb it down.
You hear a sigh, and then, if you're from a faraway place, my guess is that not a lot of people live there, you know? We got billions of people living here. And
Okay.
turns out, let me put this in easy words for you. A couple billion people really want to kill another couple billion people. And if I take out this military base, it's going to make it exponentially harder for the former to do the latter. You understand?
The latter could still do the former.
The latter doesn't have nearly the same capacities to do so as the former.
You're attempting to stop a genocide?
I'm not going to use that word, but I will use massacre.
I want to, is Viewpoint off cooldown?
Yep.
Okay, I have a perk on Viewpoint called Understanding that when prompted, I can see a memory of theirs that is influencing their current actions.
Ooh, cool.
Ooh.
I would like to basically verify his story.
All right, paired action.
I'm just talking to him over the phone.
Gonna have to be verbal.
Yeah, I know. I'm just trying to think of it. Have you been affected by these people? And I guess that's my prompting question to try to get in there.
And he would follow up with, I don't really see how that's relevant. But you would see something else. You would see him watching a news report, but it's in a kind of holodeck sense where the news report is projected over the area around him. He seems like he's doing a daily task, going about a bustling city street, and the news report plays around him. The news report is discussing potential preemptive strikes, almost like a sports center commentary on all of the different ways a given nation could win a war. It's done in a very blasé fashion, with a big focus on numerical calculations and betting odds being displayed along the bottom row.
Give any insight onto like the reasons why this war might start or anything like that?
Not in the bit that you glimpse, but what you do feel off of it is the deep, crusading hatred he feels looking at that broadcast.
Okay, once I'm out of it, I'm just gonna go.
Hello.
So you're not gonna blow up that city?
It needs to be credible that I could.
Where are you? I have illusionary powers. I can hide you from the others.
There's a long pause, and then I think I will reveal that information when I absolutely need to, and not a moment earlier.
Is there a way for this connection to stay up, but I still have autonomy so I can go and try to stop them on my own? But you can contact me if needed?
Yeah.
Okay.
I won't scold you or warn you or anything like that. You're not a child.
Yep.
You know what I can do, and I kind of know what you can do, so.
Yeah, they're not going to be happy with me. Okay, let's go.
No. You don't need people to be happy with you, do you?
Not those two.
Not anyone. Siri blips back to her senses.
Sorry, guys. Y'all are fucked.
Now,
Siri,
Siri...
a little far from you.
Indeed. Siri is completely subsumed in mist. Enough so that even her 2+ to sensory can't see much more than like a couple paces in any direction. But obviously the mist poses no further threat to her.
Yeah.
Gotta find those two. They went somewhere. I have no fucking idea where.
Zero idea.
Yeah, I rode off into the sunset.
Can I go up to that, like, board thing? I was close to it.
Yep, you were right next to it.
Alright, I want to put my hand up.
Hello, how can I assist you this afternoon?
Hi, do you know what a horse is?
And then after a moment, why, yes. Would you like to see a common encyclopedia entry on horses?
Can you search the ship for a horse?
Why, yes. There's like kind of an awkward pause before it says so. There is, in fact, a single member of that species aboard the vessel currently. Would you like to know the scientific name for it?
See, it'd be really surprising if there was two.
No, I would like to know the location of this horse.
Certainly. Let me show you a map. And it shows you a map. Currently, those two are midway through the second ring. They are quite a ways away from where you are.
Does it show a trajectory? Like, does it show them moving?
Yes, it does.
Where are they going?
Currently looping around the second ring. Not immediately clear where they are going.
Where am I?
You were on the third ring, the furthest out. Each ring has 2 connection points to the next ring in.
I'm just gonna assume that if we start in the third ring and they're in the second ring, they're going to the first ring. Feels like a numbers.
Bold assumption.
I will take it. +1 intelligence is happy with this.
Kind of. Well, follow her lead. Okay. I talked to Nap. What is the fastest way to get to the inner ring?
Here, I'll show it to you on
Why
the
by
map.
horse?
Yeah. And you can see that it shows an outline on the map, but it also shows that each ring has a tram that goes all the way around it. And you can see that obviously the tram, it's a ring. It's only one direction it can, or 2 directions it can go. But the thing is, you'd have to wait for the tram. And sure enough, the little display board would say, "Would you like me to hail a tram for you?"
How long does the tram take?
Approximately 10 seconds from current destination.
I would like to wait for the tram then.
Absolutely. Let me put in an order for the tram for you. There's a moment, and then, blast doors are currently closed. Let me open those for you, and then I will call the tram. And you hear...
Concerned that this is... Oh, okay.
And then, sure enough, you hear like a... The tram zooms into place. It's fast, and it stops on a dime. It's definitely faster than a horse, but of course you have to wait for it. And, you know, it's, again, picture those like little airport trains that you see that I used to absolutely adore when I was a child. And hopping aboard, the tram would zoom Siri off towards the access point to the second ring. As she gets there, she would see that another tram is already waiting for her.
Love that. I'd like to get on the other tram now.
Yep. And as you
I love all these trains, dude.
zoom off, jumping back to the other two, they have made their way to the first ring, the innermost ring, which has all of the technical and mechanical components. It is the hub, whereas the second ring is more of the like personnel, like daily life sort of things. Here in the first ring, obviously it is the tightest, smallest ring, and as such you have the least visibility around any given corner or bend. But the signage is quite clear. Has Murasaki shared her entire plan with Dega, or would she have...
Yeah, I said that out loud. That's why I was panting.
Thank you very much. Excellent. Thank you.
And he understood only enough to get us to where we needed to go.
Yeah.
Because the rest of it was technobabble, right?
Precisely. And so where precisely would Murasaki be pointing Dega towards? Like, say, you know, get us to blank.
I mean, I know that, you know, our central systems are going to be centrally located. So as a rule of thumb, I've said get us as close to the center as possible. Murasaki is meanwhile like trying to get a better sense of, you know, the layout and thinking through what she knows about the architecture and systems to, once we get to the center, have a better sense of where our, you know, if not the major control center, which would be wonderful, would be if we can access that. At the very least, you know, it's like some like safety lever where we can flood the cooler.
Yep, absolutely. The two places that could be interesting, one is the reactor for the entirety of the ship, and the second one is kinetic systems, which is their way of saying where the blasty parts are.
Let's go with kinetic systems, because I don't think we want to be next to the reactor when this happens.
Yeah. And riding neatly up and halting in front of this innermost blast door. This one presents a fresh problem. The key card doesn't work, and the blip on the little screen tells you precisely why. It says, "Ensign, you do not have the authority to enter into this area."
Insufficient privileges.
Yeah.
Well, time for some horsepower, maybe. So let's see if Matita can make, or unless you want to like hack it or something. You want to wiggly fingers it?
No, what I want,
break it down?
if I may, because I've been waiting for an opportunity to do this, and I really hope that the comedic value will get us through.
Wiggly fingers. Yeah.
I think that you start to say that. You know, you say it's like, let's do a little horsepower. Like, you're up for the kick, and I'm, no. 30 centimeters to the left.
I love it. Yeah, and then I'll just, you know, turn the horse and give her a slap, right?
Yeah, and ornery as always, she kicks backwards and dents the door. Probably going to take a couple of those, if that's all right.
Yeah. I'll keep at it.
She gives you an irritated whinny after the third one, but on the fourth, you buckle
I'll give her some nice sugar cubes after this.
Yeah, on the fourth, you buckle it in enough to actually be able to get a hand.
Yeah, and I could like pry, maybe grab like a piece of metal, pry it open.
Yep. Now
I've got a little
knife. These things kind of like aperture open. You know.
Oh right, I can just.
You have to pry one piece down, and you can even get to
use
the point where
my boot and my shoulder.
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's precisely what I was envisioning too. And with again a might, that's going to help you a lot here, and a resilience even too, because you know it's not something you're meant to put your hands on.
He's tough as nails, this Dega. He's got lots full of spit and vinegar to him.
And of course, gentleman always opens the door for a lady, so I assume that I will.
Of course. Yep, go on then.
There we go. And Murasaki would enter, and then Ratita would kind of like
Yeah, ladies first, I say to the horse. After you, après-vous, madam.
And then you can let it shut, and it kind of like pops back into place. With that kind of like slack spring energy of a mechanical piece that has been kind of pushed beyond what it wants to.
Yeah.
And in you have entered into the weapons systems area. It is, as you might imagine, full of those like hand play screen interfaces. It has a couple of like major diagnostic displays. It has some holograph projections. It also has a current like trajectory map showing where the entire station is moving towards, as well as lock-on coordinates for the large city that obviously kind of spurred the threat of this mission, the city that he is threatening to obliterate. As you guys have entered the weapon systems area, actions from the both of you.
So just to start, I think Murasaki is going to be like, it's a safety mechanism. It should be nice, big, and obvious, and probably red. Going to look for the big red button or lever that says, pull in case of emergency, and direct Dega to do the same in case that he manages to spot it first. I think we'll start there.
And as Murasaki is entering the room, obviously ahead of Dega, what would he like to do?
So, I don't see the mark here. I don't see the guy in the room.
No.
Obviously, he's not sitting here.
The room is currently empty, though admittedly with lots of places to technically hide.
Yeah. So, I'd like to think about, okay, were I hiding out from somebody in this space station? Where would I hide? And I start looking at the maps they have on the wall.
Yeah.
And, we're not in the command center per se. And so I want to locate where I want to go next, right? Ready for the next move. Because all these Gugas and doodads, I'm not going to be able to make heads nor tails of them. But I know how to hunt a rat. And so that's what I'm going to try to determine.
Yep. 3 things jump out to you, especially because you have a more detailed map here. 1, communication center. It's in the middle ring. It's not far away. Seems like a likely place. 2, if you were hunting a particularly clever rat, he wouldn't be on the first ring. He might be on the second ring in one of the personnel areas. Even something as
to confuse people into thinking they were there.
Precisely. Yeah. Though at the same time, given that he didn't expect you guys to be aboard, he wouldn't be there in the first place, but maybe he's repositioned.
Yeah, he wasn't expecting. And he was trying to slow us down, so yeah, maybe not that one. Or it's a double bluff.
Exactly. Third potential that you have here is while the escape pods are in the outer area, there is a black box here. And the black box is large.
Mm-hmm. Okay, noted.
Now,
I'll let Murasaki do her thing.
As Dega is looking at this map, his eyes not being on Murasaki for this moment is very critical. She feels a faint sting on her leg, and immediately she drops to the ground with her entire body convulsing as a taser gets her.
I was waiting for the twist. It wouldn't have been satisfying without the twist.
And as Dega hears her collapsing, no fewer than 5 people pop out from like every single corner of the area, holding out their like hand nodes towards him, and immediately you hear the of like taser shots firing off towards you.
Well, I'm gonna hold. So this sounds like I've been in this situation before.
Oh yeah.
Where I'm gonna stand off with them, where I'm gonna remain totally calm. And I've been, like I said, I knew they were going to try to dry gulch us up here. They're going to try to bushwhack us. And so Dega isn't shocked. And by keeping cool, unruffled, his just gunslinger energy is going to help protect him from these projectiles.
And the taser barbs barely miss him. He like feels them pass his cheeks, but they are like rapidly.
Yeah, and he doesn't flinch, right? Yeah,
not even a little bit. And as he does so, the hands are still held out towards him. You can see that while, of course, they're all robotic, one of them isn't, as per usual. Game's over, tough guy.
I say, heard that before. And okay. I was thinking how trick shot would be really cool here to like ricochet between people. Let's see. So cooldown has a middle, like a mid cooldown to it.
Or a standoff?
Is shootout
or a shootout.
or so like I'm in standoff
Yep.
right now.
And you're looking for shootouts cooldown.
Yeah, shootout is middle cooldown.
You would have it up.
Is that back available again?
Yep, you would have it up.
Yeah, I kind of want to just combine the evocation of all three of his features. Really, at the end of the day, this is very much like, fire from the hip. And at this point, Dega's a little annoyed because both all the hostile actions have immediately gone to the two people he's supposed to protect. Like, they're getting bugs put in them, they're getting shocked. So he's actually going to aim for the head on all of these people and just take them out. And so
pitch
that's
something
what
in
I'd like
addition.
to do. I'm sorry, what?
Can I pitch something in addition to just?
Oh, please do.
Well, it's a little bit of give and take. I would like to pitch that when Murasaki is tased, she falls to the floor and is convulsing, and in the convulsions does see like the little access port that she would need to flood the reactor. However, she also recognizes that it's going to take a significant electrical charge, and the only option available for her is to grab the taser out of her, keep holding it, and like crawl her way over to that, which Dega might see, but is gonna take some time.
So normally I would say with a baseline luck stat, I'd never give it to you. But with that pretty enormous downside, I'm way more open to it. That said, on a normal character, I'd be like, there's no way in hell you're crawling with a taser going through you.
+2 to will.
With +2 to will, however, we're talking. So my question here is, talk me through the defiance that Murasaki is going to use to push through the convulsions of the taser, pull it out of her, keep eating the electricity, and crawl the like 2 yards or so that she needs. Talk me through it. Like, what's going through her mind? Where is she drawing the strength from to do this? The internal strength.
Yeah. Here's. I think we're gonna make up some backstory from Murasaki here.
Always good.
Up to this point in the narrative, everything that Murasaki has solved, she has done through her wits.
Yeah.
Right. It's always been a problem that she's been able to find a clever solution to get around it, to find the easy way. I think Murasaki is going to think back to her schoolgirl days, think back to the children who bullied her when she was younger. No matter how hard she worked, no matter what clever retort she thought up, it always it was never ending. And then one day, like when it finally comes to it, she says, "Enough of this," and punches one of them. And, it's the whole thing. She gets to the principal. There's like a talk to their parents afterwards, but they do stop bullying her after that. And I think she's going to draw back on that. It's just like, sometimes the most elegant solution is brute fucking force.
And her twitching hand pulls the barb out, immediately bleeding, right? But it's nowhere near a fatal. It's just a messy bleed, right? And she would slowly begin to drag herself across the floor. Mm-hmm. Her teeth are grinding so tightly, she feels like she's losing enamel. Like her eyes are squinted so tight that she can barely see the floor in front of her. She can like feel if she has buttons or anything on her clothing, she would feel them like rattling against the tile just beneath her. But also, out of her periphery, she would see the one who tased her, who is still low, not in sight of Dega, starting to crawl after her, clearly not perturbed. This is an automata at the moment, but clearly understanding within its protocol that something isn't right about this situation.
And I think Spotlight goes back to either Dega or Siri at that point.
We will do Dega and then Siri. Dega.
So I'd like to actually change my plan,
please,
based on this description, because now I see what I actually need to do is buy time. Not necessarily start lighting the place up, and then then Murasaki catches a ricochet or something. So before, I'm gonna keep in standoff here, remaining calm, collected, and I'm gonna say, because I know I'm talking to the guy, I say, "You ever been shot, kid?" As I reload my revolver, I say that to the robots.
Threats don't particularly work on me.
Oh, not threatened, just wondering. Because I've been shot. And it's unpleasant.
You must be so proud.
Oh, no, I say. Not proud, not proud at all. I would not describe myself as a proud man. But you know what I've never done? Never hijacked no space station, that's for sure. But
You should try it sometime.
I'm not here to negotiate with you or even threaten you, honestly. I've been sent here to kill you.
Good luck.
And all I'm doing, I'm just buying time. Like,
Of
I'm
course.
just,
Keep it
I'm,
up. He's clearly, he's
saying,
bought into the back and forth.
Yeah. And I say, I honestly don't care why you hijacked this place or what city you're pointing it at. Because I was told to come here and make sure you don't do whatever it is you're doing. And to be perfectly frank, I've forgotten all the details of whatever scheme is going on here. But I know that you've also raised your hand against my compatriots, which I don't particularly like. So, if you haven't been shot, you're about to have a new experience this day. And I just keep I try to keep my peripheral vision on Murasaki through this whole spiel as she agonizingly crawls toward what she's trying to do.
And it's a credit to the power of standoff that you don't have 5 tasers in you at this exact moment.
Yeah, exactly.
But the standoff keeps it going. Cool. And you can hear Murasaki crawling, like dragging herself across the floor.
If I do happen to notice that errant bot that I couldn't see normally would stop her, I do want to take a shot at that. That's what would break my standoff. I would.
You wouldn't see it, but you would hear 2 sets of crawling because they're down.
Yeah. Well, it's like if I happen to see, because I'm watching Murasaki, if the other one comes out at her and I would have line of sight, that's what I'm keeping myself aware of.
Absolutely.
And I'll continue to trade barbs, and we pass to somebody else, right?
Taser barbs, you might say. Yeah. And
I have a pitch.
Please.
Okay. So I feel like the way that this is building, it's a little cheap if we just go for it, but I'm going to pitch a consequence for me to let us get away with it. It seems as though the climactic moment here should be, last second you say the clever line. I'll let you figure out what that is, Dega. That's your part of the job. You'll get that split second where everyone lunges, you turn, shoots, I lunge, try to get it in, and that the hijacked person also lunges. I'm going to say that, I might be able to get it in, but let's say that they do manage to, intercept my hand, and, in the blaze of everything that's happened, we'll see what Enclave medicine can do, but I am thinking of losing my plus to skill due to the damage done to my the integrity of my body.
It's so cool that you're thinking in that direction. Your characters are full reset after a mission, but I see what you're going for with it. I very much see what you're going for with it. Frankly, it's sick.
That's my pitch.
Again, I love that you're thinking in that direction because it's a very Enclave way of thinking about things, the give and take. It's a cool idea, and we'll see it in a moment. But before then,
okay.
Siri, on the second ring, in that tram, suddenly you are taken of your senses and you hear him again. I'm coming to you.
Okay. Do you know where I am?
And after a moment, he would say, yeah.
Okay.
You may have spooked him.
Why is everything okay? Are you able to do your thing if you're with me and not some control? I thought you were at a control panel or something.
They've gotten too deep.
What?
I don't think I can take him out now.
No, just give me tell them I'm coming. Tell them I'm coming, and I'm gonna talk to them. Have them not I'm trying to get. They don't know what's going on.
And after a moment, he says, "If I tell them that you're coming, what do you think that is going to do?"
I don't know. Can I? Okay, they have a mirror that I cast viewpoint on.
Yes, they do.
Can I somehow remotely activate that and say something through it? Like, not really casting viewpoint, but just
Well,
like
remember, you can because you normally you'd be able to contact them with your hand mirror, but since you
yeah,
broke
but I
the
put
one
it
that
I
you
put it
have
in a hat.
and ate it almost.
Oh
quote
yeah,
unquote.
no, I didn't eat it. I didn't eat it. It's still in my hat because I drank water instead.
is-
I'd like to just scream into my. Oh no, I'm still in this mind control thing. What? Give me just one more chance, and I'll talk.
And
I think
he
I
says,
can talk to them.
if there's something you want to do, you can cover my ass and make sure they don't kill anyone. That's what you can do.
I'll try. Yep.
And Siri blips back to her senses as the tram slides smoothly into place at the point where the second ring meets the first.
Okay, great. I take my hat and scream into it. Stop!
And hello.
Hello, you've reached. I say to the robots, one sec, got to take this.
It probably sounds like static garbage because I'm screaming
go
into
for
a
Dega.
battered mirror. But...
Yeah. And Siri would hear Dega's like broken up voice coming back through. Stop is an easy enough line that he can
Yes,
hear.
you yell stop.
Yeah, just
Stop what? Hello? I don't know this thing where I look over at like the robot. I don't know how this thing works. Hello?
Stop.
And you just
Always
hear
screaming it.
Siri's voice. Stop. But as you are doing so, the one who is clearly possessed, for a moment hadn't had a response for you, and it looked like you had struck him dumb. But as he kind of comes back to, cocks his head again. He says, I'm not particularly interested in getting shot today.
Most people aren't.
He would close the hand that has the taser barb on it, and he would lower it. And as you might expect, the others begin to lower theirs as well, but on a delay. That delay does reveal something, however. Given that Dega has been looking for it, Murasaki has clawed her way into view, reaches, and Dega would see a hand grab hers.
Oh, I would like to, like I said, I don't like people put hands on my friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so I want to, this is my theme today, is shooting hands. It's what I do, apparently. And so that's what I've been waiting for to cover her, because she's the real ace up our sleeve right now, not me, right? I'm just stalling. So I would like to crack a shot off, which would break the standoff, like I'm breaking the calm, but so that she can do her plan, which Dega still only vaguely understands. And he did not understand the stop through this. That was, I heard stop, but I'm not sure what we're stopping.
Exactly. Now, along those lines, Siri on her end would hear a gunshot come through her mirror.
Yeah.
I'm full sprinting. I just know they're going to.
Yeah, I mean, that gunshot would be loud, too. There'd be no question where that's
So
coming.
you would know what direction it's coming from, too. Crewmen, by the way, of the ship are starting to, like, file out in neat, orderly single file and, like, walk past her. Like moving away from the source. Yeah. And back in the room, Dega would see that all of the robotic crew, they were in the process of lowering their hands, and the hands jump back up.
Yep. Dega knows that he's actually possibly sacrificing himself here to enact the plan. He's aware of that.
And what's he going to do?
He's going to make sure that Murasaki can do what she's going to do. So I'm going to take a shot at that hand to prevent her from being thwarted.
Yep.
And if I can dive for cover afterward, if there's time, I'd love it. But I also know that Dega knows the deal here.
And as he shoots, Murasaki, the hand that was pulling you away.
Yeah, it's covering my hand or our wrist.
Precisely. Shoots clean through your own wrist as well. You're like the
I think I need more than +2 to will for this.
Oh yes, that is a scream. That is 100% a scream. And it would pause you, at least for the moment, in finishing the job and plugging the taser into the wall.
Yeah.
This is a higher priority. Her hand is in a clenched claw of pain, and the blood spatter for it is like across her face. But at the same time, she would hear a grunt from above as Dega eats 4 taser barbs simultaneously as they start to electrocute him, and he just drops. Even plus resilience doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, one resilience is gonna
like he's convulsing so much that he cannot see the world around him.
Yeah.
It looks like he's having a seizure, and a bad
Dega
one.
knows you don't fight the taser, you just let it ride. This is not his first time being tased.
And
You just ride it out. You just ride it out. If Dega had a quick moment, just the quickest of moment, he would like take out something hard and bite down on it just as all of the tasers hit, so he doesn't bite his tongue, because he knows what happens.
Murasaki might know that intellectually, but is way too stubborn for it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Right.
What I could see is you have your duster. You have like the big collars, like might have a button or something to just like clunk.
Yep, just bite down on that, because that makes it. Trust me, you wake up with much less of a headache. You don't have a blood in your mouth. It's way better.
Better than your tongue.
Plops, thuds to the ground.
And Siri,
I'm just now noticing Mary's expression.
Yeah. Well, it's about to be mirrored by Siri, who comes rushing into the room to see Dega on the ground, drooling, his eyes rolling back into his mouth from the amount of electricity. Murasaki over on the side, clutching her hands, sobbing with blood across her face. And 5 crewmates on their feet, pumping electricity into Dega. Well, one hasn't shot. And then a 6th over on the side, like placidly patching up their fucked up hand.
It's just another day. This is just a Dega day, you know?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
This is great. Everything is going according to plan.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I have no idea how to do. Okay. First things first, I need to get the electrocution to stop, probably. I don't know how to do that. I kind of just shout, "Can you stop electrocuting him? I'll just for like a minute, maybe."
The answer comes through loud and clear by the fact that the electrocution does not stop.
Yeah, I was gonna say they crank it up.
Okay, I go over and yank him out, I guess.
Now, I will say, yanking out a taser cable is bad in a couple of regards. 1, because that's a live wire. And 2, because it's barbed. And so literally like a little spurt of blood would follow the barb from Dega where Siri pulls it out. And when it kind of flicks back and tags her hand, it would snap like brutally as though she were pinched. And so that's 1 barb. Is she going to try to get through the others?
No, that's fine. Fuck. I'm gonna look at the 3 other people and just be like, "Stop! Can you stop tasering him?"
And as Siri is saying this, her eyes would fall upon something. Next to Murasaki, there is a beautiful gleam of pink. Her flower.
Yeah, I know, but that's... It can heal people, but I can't help get tasers out of people.
That said...
I also am out of magic, and that can help me get magic back.
And also, that said, now that your eyes are on it, you kind of can't help but think about it.
Yeah, I know, because I could get a lot of magic back from that. Oh, Siri's the worst on this mission. I'm so sorry, y'all. Oh, no.
I wonder what Ratita would do right now.
I was about to get to that part too. I was thinking
I
about it
wonder.
myself, because there's a lot of stuff and there's a lot of things, but she's a gun horse.
Yeah, she's used to gunfire and battle, and she's kind of ornery.
Yeah,
but she's not a combatant.
No, she's not going to charge in.
She's a horse.
I'm gonna. This is something that in Aspirant we're actually going to be making pretty substantial rolls for. You actually will have some ability to give a rough, pretty much a pitch of what she is doing. And so you're be thinking about what...
I have an idea, but we can. I'll wait to...
Yeah, we'll do Siri and Murasaki, and then we'll hear what you think Ratita is doing.
Okay, I'm going to go over... It's not really gonna work because I'm gonna be I'll explain. Okay, so I'm gonna go over. I want to get the flower from Murasaki, and I want to start using that while at the same time trying to do this perk I have on Veneer, which I've never used before, and the first time I'm using it, it's going to be really shitty because my heart's not in it. But I have a perk on Veneer that lets me, if I use it to make somebody's wound like disappear, quote unquote, it can help in a heartening. But
Oh,
my
cool.
heartening is going to be really shitty because I'm more focused on the flower than on actually helping. So
Who are you going to be doing the heartening on, and what are you going to say?
I'm gonna do it on Murasaki because the flower was near
Yeah.
her and she's also actively bleeding. Just be like, hey, it's okay. Like we're oh my God, you have a lot of blood on you. Everything's gonna be fine. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna get magic and then you're gonna be okay and then we're gonna talk for a while. Okay.
Clarke is switching to phone. While he is
Yep.
doing so, jumping back over to Dega, what do you think Ratita will be doing?
So this old horse of mine has pulled me out of many a ditch and other less than flattering situation, and so I think she'd actually pull me out of the room. Now, in doing so, she will yank all of the taser barbs out of me at once because
Yes.
she's a horse, and she's not that smart. So this isn't going to necessarily make me better. It's just going to change the circumstances of my injuries. I'll no longer be electrocuted, but I will have a bunch of torn up stuff. But Dega has been shot before, and this is nothing compared to that.
Yeah.
So he would prefer it, even though this is gonna hurt like a sumbitch, but he's gonna do it anyway.
Yep.
Or that's what she would do. She'd grab me by
The collar. That's
exactly,
non-conductive. That's perfect.
Yeah, and unceremoniously yank me back.
Yeah. And as you do so, the sickening kind of pops of the taser barbs coming out of you would leave you like just outside of the kinetic systems room. You would be panting. You would be still convulsing slightly.
Oh, yeah.
While your tongue isn't bitten, your teeth feel like nubs from how much you were grinding them. And also there's just cold sweat all over your body. As you just pant.
All in a day's work.
And you just hear like a... As Ratita doesn't... She's not even like really concerned. She's just like sticking her face next to you like, did I do it,
give her
boss?
a pat. I just let out a sigh and just like, oh, hell. I just sit there, honestly. I just sit there and...
And Clarke, I don't know if you heard what Siri was saying to Murasaki. Did you not? If so, we can have Mary repeat it.
There was a lot of going out. I had to switch devices. Canonically, I'm going to go ahead and say that Murasaki passed out for a little bit in there.
Totally, but in that case,
I think I need to hear that again.
Yeah, would you mind repeating? This is like, even though obviously she's in immense pain, but Siri's voice would be like drifting to her through the pain. Siri is like right next to her, not that she is fully aware of that.
Yeah, I'm trying to comfort you. I'm not doing a good job at it though. Basically just being like, hey, you're gonna be okay. You got a lot of blood on you. It's fine. I'm gonna get my magic back and we're gonna talk and everything's gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. So you can't even see the blood anymore, probably.
And
veneer on it to make the blood look like it's gone.
And Murasaki would see the wound vanishes before her eyes, as does the blood. And more than that, the pain goes away. It's as though it's just like a miracle healing has been put over your hand.
Oh, Siri.
Yeah.
Murasaki then sees the flower in Siri's hand, and the pull that it has on her intensifies because Siri is imbibing it to get magic from it.
I look at her eyes, recognize it, and just like hold it away slightly and go, you need to wait. I'm trying to get my magic back. I used a fuck ton of it to do stuff earlier. No, I know. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine. You're gonna be fine.
Did we do it?
We're not gonna do it.
Huh? What?
We're not gonna stop him.
I'm still coming to lucidity. Otherwise, I would have things to say. I think for the moment, Murasaki's going to take a couple of minutes and like figure out what's going on, and then once she's back on her feet, she'll interact normally.
Yep. As she does so, I should note the taser is no longer pumping, so she no longer has that electrical thing that she was relying on. But of course, the plan is kind of scattered in her mind at the moment.
Yes.
Siri, with Murasaki patched up for the moment at least, what would you do from here? Are you going to just finish imbibing the flower to regain essence, or doing something else?
I'm gonna hold it and just keep talking if that's what we got time for. Basically just being like, listen, there's this war that's going on. I saw bits and pieces of it. He's trying to stop like 1 billion people from dying. I know we were hired to do this, and they're probably gonna pay you or do something else, but like, please God, we can't stop this guy when he's trying to stop a war.
Oh, he could have just said so, I suppose.
Well, he couldn't if he thought that we were on the side that he's trying to...
I'm still coming to senses here. He's not going to kill people.
He's not gonna kill us. He's not gonna explode that city. He's just trying to... I mean, people are probably gonna die. He's trying to destroy a military base. But... Oh God, people are still gonna die!
We were trying to destroy a military base. I was going to flood the reactor and disable the system.
No, don't do that, because then he won't be able to do his thing.
But his thing was destroying the military base?
Yes, because the military base is... There was a news article there. The military base is going to, like, try to murder... Like, do a preemptive shootout on, like, 1 million people.
Yeah, so if we take out the weapon system, then it can't do that.
No, it's not this one. It's a different one. I'm pretty sure. Is it a different one? I thought it was a different one.
He was describing that his target with this orbital strike station is a base on the ground.
Yeah.
Oh.
Trying to get rid of a base on the ground. Now, as Siri is saying this, Dega would be coming back to his senses, enough to pick up at least a piece of the conversation.
See, Dega sits up, with a groan, because he's not a young and spry man anymore. And he just sort of mumbles to himself, I should go back to prison at this point. Sits up and he just checks the load of his gun, like, jeez. So I see them having a little conversation saying, we're not going to do it, all this kind of stuff. And now I, with my decent senses, I marked the one that I think is actually him. And I want to just, where is that one in the room? The one I've now mentally marked, I noticed was the one to first respond.
Looking around, he's gone. All of them. They clearly walked out past you while you were convulsing on.
Well, I was, otherwise occupied.
Yeah.
Boy. Boy. Well, mission's not done, I say. And
we're not going to do it.
I say, all due respect, ma'am, I don't take orders from you. And I ready myself to keep going. Because can you commute my sentence? I don't know.
I could try. I have slight leverage, I guess not a whole lot, but I have a little bit of leverage with the Enclave. I can try to negotiate something for you.
He's bleeding pretty badly from a number of wounds, but they don't...
the front of my shirt is all bloody.
Red.
Can I do my veneer maneuver again real quick?
Veneer's on cooldown.
Well, that's stupid. That?
What a stupid game.
You should make a better game then, Robbie.
So I say, you're acting awful spooky right now, and you warned me about this, so I'm going to crack the mirror in half in my hand.
Oh, great. That does... I regain control of myself.
Yeah, so Dega doesn't understand how any of that works.
Yep. And as the mirror breaks, Siri doesn't look any different. Though that said, as Siri does this, she does feel something a little funky happen. It's hard to describe. It's kind of like, imagine you realize that your head was cocked sideways all day and you're like, oh, that's what was going on. You know what I mean? Just like a subtle change that makes the world feel like it reorients.
Well, that's great, Dega. Now I am going to have to eat glass, and that's because of you.
Lady, I don't know what that means.
Murasaki
Dega's bleeding out pretty heavily. Previously, I was able to restore Siri with a little bit of cataloging. I'm hoping that was a long time enough ago now that I could try something similar with Peter, or with Dega. If it helps, I'll write a new haiku.
I will say right now, the difference is that that was like a parasite in her body rather than like chunks of him missing. So like that will be a dramatically harder catalog to pull off.
Understood.
Yeah.
What I might
I see
just
what you're
do
going
is, I say, don't really need any spare shots now. There's only one guy I got to kill. So I empty my bandolier and tie it across the wounds real tight. Not going to actually, solve the problem. That's a problem for later. That's a problem for tomorrow's Dega. Right now, I've got a mission. And if I go back empty-handed, they're probably going to add another couple years to how much I got to sit in that cell. So he hasn't been out of character. He hasn't been convinced yet.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, no,
Dega
I'm picking up on you. You're all
yeah,
good.
like Dega is also not loyal to the to Manifold, like to the Enclave by any means. He is their prisoner.
Yeah.
So,
Yep.
he gears up to, get on his horse and run down this guy.
Yep.
But that'll take him a moment because he's a little winded.
Yep.
Listen.
Real quick before we jump back to Siri, quick thing from Murasaki and then Siri.
I think Murasaki's been, this whole time she's been thinking about Akamazi's treatise on Go and cybersecurity, and is realizing that the important part of this story might be the Go chapters and questions of like getting people's thinking about getting Siri and threat and response.
Sente.
Yes. And she thinks he's going about this wrong, but that could work. I think we can get you satisfied with Enclave. We don't have to kill anyone that doesn't need to die, I think, assuming that a very nuanced geopolitical situation has been described accurately by a currently active terrorist. And we don't have to stop him, per se. Siri, can you still communicate with him?
No, because he just broke my I gotta eat. Let me eat glass real quick. Okay, I'm gonna eat the glass.
No, don't you have, out of character, don't you have the silver in you now?
No, you just got rid of it by breaking it. By breaking that
that's a different thing. It. Because Dega does not understand how the wiggly fingers works here.
No, it's all
While
good.
they're arguing, I think Siri's just going to yell, assuming that he can probably hear some sort of like microphone.
Yeah.
If you fire the weapon at the installation, it will be considered an act of war. You will destroy their chief capability of conducting war, but you will not prevent the war. Let me help you sabotage the base, plummet it into the planet, aim it well. You can leave on an escape pod. We report mission accomplished. War is prevented as a tragic but well-timed accident resolves the situation.
There's a long pause.
Yeah.
And then I remember there's a screen that was showing the base's trajectory. The screen changes color. It has like a yellow overlay. And then it pulls back slightly, shows a bunch of nodes that start to pulse. It would look kind of like a mini-map in a video game, kind of pulling back. And you would see that the like ticker across the bottom would read select coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
I think Murasaki starts to smile.
Would she place a coordinate on the screen? Would she touch it?
Well, she doesn't yet know where the installation is, so no.
Yeah.
Right,
Well, actually, she does know because that was highlighted on the map as the destination point for its next like orbital hold.
I think she is going to pause for a moment because she does recognize that this will kill people. She is acting on incomplete information, but that's sometimes what you have to do as an Enclave agent.
It sure is.
And I think she will first look to her companions and say, I will not do this thing without your consent.
Dega says, life's path like this, it's always paved by blood of people like me. And it's always done by people who think they know better and think they're averting some sort of catastrophe. I'll say that. Everybody thinks it's always somebody who thinks they know best. I don't like when people think they know best, and so like he still goes to try to stop the guy.
Yeah, but
regardless,
that is frequently
who
me.
actually know better. You do realize that there are actually idiots out there who do idiotic things, and there are people, hopefully, like the people in this fucking room, who do know better.
Maybe I say, and so he's not going to stop you guys though, because he also believes you're free to choose whatever you want to do. But he says, then I expect y'all to sign up down there when they are recruiting for soldiers then, huh? And he goes on his horse and goes after him.
Understand my magic. We've established that.
Yes.
I'd like to cast a veneer to make the door close. Or phantasm to make the door close.
And given that Dega is standing like closest to the door, there is a very key thing here. He would not hear the sound of the door closing. Do you want to walk through the solid door?
Oh, well, I'm on a horse. So can the horse even stop in time is maybe a question.
She pauses.
Dega doesn't understand the magic, though. That's a key thing.
Indeed.
So to him, he's not one to disbelieve when he sees things happen. He doesn't understand it. But he would try to kick it over right away with his horse.
And the horse's hooves go through it.
Yeah. That's it's wiggly fingers. Oh, I get it. I say to Siri, y'all are free to choose, and so am I. And I go after him.
And as he rides
and
out, you hear the
just really quick, out of character.
Hard. Yep.
Like that's Peter's blessing. Hey, crash the space station to fulfill that plan, right?
You are
You're
totally
doing such
good.
A fucking good job.
Yeah.
And
so, but I'm gonna hunt this guy down. I don't like him, and if he's gonna do something like this, he needs to know what it's like to be shot. Not necessarily fatally.
Viewpoint is definitely off cooldown. The last time I used it was to verify the memory, and that happened before I got on the train.
Yep.
Or while I was on.
You have viewpoint. What do you want to do?
I want to cast it on Dega.
Yep, absolutely.
What does viewpoint do? Like I said, Dega doesn't get it.
Viewpoint traditionally lets you see the world through somebody else's eyes.
Ooh boy, buckle up.
I'm gonna fuck with you a little bit.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna do some goddamn energy. So I have a perk on it instead of letting me see through your eyes, I can feel what you feel. And then I'm also gonna reverse that and make you feel what I feel, and I'm gonna think about the most terrible points in my life and try to just make you real upset.
So you say you're gonna feel what Dega feels?
Other way around.
You are going to feel what Siri feels.
I was gonna say, because if you feel what Dega feels, Dega has led a long and horrible life.
Yeah, I'm not gonna feel what you feel. I'm scared of that.
You don't want the mixed
but then
emotions.
if you feel what I feel, it's not gonna really be effective.
Yeah, Dega's pretty tough. I think he could probably endure it.
Yeah, like
okay,
Dega...
in that case, I'm just gonna reverse viewpoint. You're gonna see through my eyes, so you now see the back of your head.
Oh yeah, you just see the horse walking away, and I'm like, huh. There's a tear in the back of my duster.
Now that said,
because seeing Dega is tough to phase because he's been imprisoned, enslaved, been to war. Like the guy has been put through the ringer his whole life. It's why he's so calm.
But that said, the horse still can be moving.
Yeah, the horse is gonna go, but I'm very disoriented.
Yeah,
now.
it's like, the hell?
Yeah. Oh boy! And as soon as I get out of sight of you, it's like, oh boy. I wouldn't be able to go very fast. That's for sure.
Yeah. Now that
the horse would trot forward.
Yeah, precisely, and you'd be holding on, even though you're seeing.
Yeah, but only at like a trot at most. Yeah. No galloping or anything like that.
And as Siri and Dega are sparring, Murasaki, what will you do? You have the coordinate screen in front of you. The ship is ready for orders.
I think I am going to take a moment and consider people who think they know best. How often is that me?
Probably a pretty decent track record.
Murasaki is real smart, huh?
Yeah.
Does she know best?
She's probably got a pretty decent track record. But for this scale, for something this consequential,
I will do this thing. But first, everyone gets on an escape pod. I will come last.
there's another long pause, and on a distant screen, you see something flicker on, and you can see that it is actually an escape pod diagnostic that shows that one has already launched and another one is being boarded.
Great. I would like this communicated to my friends and colleagues. I won't specify which is which.
No reaction to this. There is a third escape
Fair
pod that is completely untouched.
Fair enough.
We don't need
Gonna
those.
ping off.
Good practice, though.
Mm-hmm. I will enter in the coordinates, but I would like, okay, I'm not sure how I want to do this exactly, because I'm thinking about narrative and dramatic reveal. We'll punch in the coordinates. There is one other control I would like to set up, but not mention what it is yet until the right time.
Ooh.
I can message you privately about it.
You have that cyber hacking thing, and I know when you can bring it in. And so, as you set in that coordinate, I will let you keep that to yourself for the moment.
Okay.
But the moment that you do so, you would see that a sudden alarm goes up over every ship screen, which is very simple. Scuttling protocols initiated. And as you do so, a gentle alarm starts blaring through the ship. And all of you feel your Enclave badges ping. Final actions, beginning with Siri.
I don't know if this is a success or not. I can't tell, and I don't know morally if I did the right thing, so I'm just gonna leave. I'm gonna, like, I'll drop my viewpoint on
Dega.
Dega, so he can say goodbye to his horse or something like that. I don't know.
Horse has got a badge.
And then I'll look over at Murasaki and just be like, I hope this works.
Next up, Dega, final actions. Your horse will ping out with you.
Yeah.
You snap back to your senses, finding that you're about at the place where the first ring right. turns into the second.
And no sign of the guy. No time now. I feel it blinking. So with my last action, I just straighten up my coat a little bit, get ready, put the handcuffs back on, because I kept them. Saves me the trouble. And then I just get ready to tap out, because I know what's waiting for me when I go back.
And Murasaki, final actions. I'd love to hear your big reveal.
My friends have tapped out, I assume.
Yep.
I assume that there's that last escape pod, which he didn't necessarily know. So I do want to just wait for a moment, make sure I want to start reentry. You know, it's like we get to enter the atmosphere. We get a couple of flames going, I assume. And, you know, I just want to make sure also that, like, I assume that this person who has hijacked the spaceship has also gone off.
Looking at the escape pods, you see the first one is long gone. The second one leaves just as the space station goes into re-entry.
Okay. I think you're right in the end. Re-entry is a bitch. And right before I ping my badge, I'm going to flip the switch to cause the arms of the armillary sphere to sprawl out in all sorts of different directions, messing up the aerodynamics of the ship and causing it to veer off course of its coordinates into, as best as I can get, an empty body of water.
Oh, and you also have the cyber hacking proficiency as well. That is ingenious. And as Murasaki pings out, on that note, we will end the mission. Whew!
May I say a few post-mission words as I'm maybe debriefing about it?
Yeah, well, we'll do a debrief. Don't you worry. If you guys
In
have time for it,
character.
of course. Yeah.
In character debrief.
Please do. Yeah, please do. Very briefly. I'd love to hear.
I think as, maybe Murasaki's like, I don't know if it's at Enclave HQ or she's, settling down with some tea and enjoying the fact that she has her hand, or, maybe as she's, returning to her work and perhaps picking up an old philosophic text. And she, I think at this point, has a physical, proper, non-magical copy of Amiketti's dialectics on Go and cybersecurity. And they mentioned that when you are in a losing game, there is a move available to amateurs that sometimes must be taken by professionals, and that is to flip the table. I don't know how I could have won that game, but I do know it is not my right to choose who lives and who dies. Other people may mistakenly claim that right, but that is a choice that they must make. And I can hope that the right example might just sway the current.
Lovely. Absolutely
I have
lovely.
a little moment as we get all to the teleport pad too.
Sure.
For the two of them, because I'll be taken in a different direction than the two of you after we get back. I imagine they're coming to apprehend him, and he'd ask Siri and Murasaki, "You sure you did the right thing?"
I don't know. You moved it off course, you motherfucker.
Yeah, are you sure?
I
say to both of you.
I don't know.
How about you, Murasaki? You sure you did the right thing?
I will do the next right thing.
Say, good answers, both of you, actually. My handcuffed hands tip my hat. Say, it's when you know you've done the right thing every time that you end up like that guy. And I'll be carted off.
Excellent. That's such a great little end bit. Something we do in Enclave is something called flavor, where between sessions you're actually able to write like little in-character pieces, going deeper into detail about little interactions like that. Always on the table if you decide you're up for it. But more than that, fantastic. You guys took to the game.
That was so much fun.
Beautiful.
Robbie, you were awesome.
Well, to give a breakdown, first and foremost, do you guys have any questions for me about calls that I made or the plot of the mission?
Nope.
I don't think so.
Excellent.
That's the best role plan. It was beautifully executed.
Best possible answer for me, because obviously in a game like Enclave, you'd expect a lot of ambiguity, but it's shocking just how many missions come through and you're like, no, that made sense.
No. Well, Dega is a character that I've role played in other systems who I want to lose. He's not supposed to win. He's not supposed to have clean breaks or for things to work out. And that's what I enjoy. I want to see how things don't always go his way.
Well, he's a beautiful foil. He's a beautiful foil. He's like a great lancer, and I really liked him in that. And in fact, let's go through the characters real quick to give my personal high points. I'll begin with Dega for ease's sake. First of all, great use of the gunslinger's kit. Textbook shootout, textbook standoff.
That's my jam.
Exactly. You get it. You figured out like the horse play, very easy, horsing around. Yeah, awesome. Really, really good. But more than anything else, his disposition and his decision making was great, because it contrasted the rest of the group so beautifully. It struck towards the goal of the mission. I loved his role play and his presence. Awesome character. Genuinely awesome character.
Thank you. It's like I've watched some Westerns.
Yeah. But he's not quite the Western archetype that you would expect, you know?
Yeah.
He's a little bit of a lot of things.
Yeah, he's somebody that dislikes authority in a lot of ways and dislikes people who think they have moral authority.
Gee, I wonder why.
Yeah. Well, and he's not, like, his life is not one of him being a villain the whole time. He's usually just unlucky and desperate and just, he doesn't have that his moral foundation is that you shouldn't have a concrete moral foundation. Like that's kind of thing, right?
You communicated it beautifully.
Yeah.
On to Murasaki. First of all, Mary can attest this. That was the best intelligence play of any first-time player I've ever seen.
I was so
Thank you.
By
so
a
good.
lot.
The techno babble
By a lot. The knowledge is power at the beginning was really important. Almost like a mission winning play right there. The catalog was one of those things that like level 4 librarians figure out, and you figured it out first play. The fun facts were all good, and you did like 3. Amazing librarian play. Genuinely amazing librarian play. You're also, on top of that, your will play was incredible. Like way beyond the expected level. Cannot give you enough compliments for the way you handle your stats and your abilities, Clarke. Seriously.
Thank you so much.
If I can jump in,
I
testament to why, like, before the mission, you had messaged that you were like rereading all the rules in the books and stuff to like make sure you had everything. Enclave is a game you can play without reading the book. I'm testament to that. Read the book. You played so fucking good.
Yeah, it turns out when you read the book, you play really well. Who'd have known?
Yeah, it was crazy.
I may have read the book.
So good.
Yeah, I genuinely both of you.
I yelled too much. I'm gonna get yelled at for yelling.
No, both of you played freaking amazingly, and in really different ways. Also, Murasaki is just a very interesting character too. Again, these 3 kind of couldn't have been more different. And
yeah, it was fantastic.
It's really fun.
You know, you always wonder how the dynamic's going to come together, and then it just does.
Yep, absolutely.
You know, I didn't play before, but you know, Robbie, we sat down and talked for like 2 hours or something total. So like, I was in the headspace you wanted me to be in already. Like, I familiarized myself ideologically first.
Yeah, you know what I was going for, and it's you can see now how the game gets that. It gets you there, you know. And lastly, Mary. I wanted to give you a mission that you couldn't solo, and I think I succeeded. Spirit play, obviously good. Classic Siri energy work that just everything breaks is always fun. I really liked how relevant the star crystal was on this one. That was actually really cool. I mean, I love Siri. Siri's been on like almost a dozen recorded missions at this point.
That's awesome. Well, I liked playing off of Siri's actions because, you know, Dega's relationship to the mission is kind of different from everybody else's.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So the hijinks of other characters is something he has to try to, like, guard against. Like, so they're going to have some scheme. I'm going to wait here with my gun ready, so when the scheme fails, not if, I'll be ready to, like, cover them. And I liked that. It's always great when we never talked before, Mary. We just met each other now. But we were able to play off a somewhat antagonistic relationship really effectively.
Effortlessly.
I like that. Because I love that kind of thing. The push and pull on that is
fun. I want to say to both of you, Mary and Peter, you both did a really good job, like, coming into this with, like, ulterior motivations outside of the mission. And like, there's so many games where it's just like, yeah, we're a unit and we do things together. And it's like, and that's great. And, you know, it reduces table presence. But I mean, like, Robbie and I were kind of having a conversation about this the other day. And, you know, it's partially like the people here and the culture of the game, et cetera. But it felt really, really great for just the storytelling of it, to have people who were in sometimes working against each other or like coincidentally aligned, or sometimes, you know, like for a brief moment, like Mary was actively opposed to us.
Yep. Yeah. And I will
say,
that
I really enjoyed, like, but at the same time, you know, it was clear, like, on the table level, we're all building something together, but it was really great to be at each other's throats, like,
exactly.
Not at each other's throats, but behind each other's backs, on the character level.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that because I feel really freeing, but I feel very freed when I go in with a character that I don't care if he wins or loses. Yep. I just want to see where it goes. So whether or not the fact that he was planning on shooting the guy in the knee, not killing him, so he can know what it's like to be shot.
Yeah.
You know, the fact that he didn't get to do that is fine. Dega loses more than he wins. And it's fun to explore that. And the weird situation of Dega being the one who stays on mission, that's endlessly strange to him because he's not like about the mission, you know, he doesn't believe in it. He's given a set of instructions that he attempts to fulfill to avoid further punishment. And that's it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Well, along those lines, something else I wanted to throw out is it's actually, I'd say, quite rare that you have explicitly like antagonistic situations in Enclave, and I love when they happen because not only they're very contributive to the story, as was the case here, But when you get pretty like deep into the game, you can find ways to spin antagonistic situations into still furthering the goal of the mission.
Yeah.
Which is wildly satisfying when you pull it off.
Yeah.
And even if you don't, who cares? It's awesome. So
and kudos to you for the mission you set up naturally allowed for this because it was a complex ethical question.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And speaking
so,
of, finish up.
Well, just that, with 3 players, you ask that question to any 2 people, they're going to give different answers.
Exactly.
Right. And so it naturally asks the players a question on what is the morality here. And then that's fun as a player because you get to play with, well, what would my character think about this new character, right, who's in this world now. And I always like that. With a character like Dega, I channel him so easily. I know his answer to most things at this point because it's usually pretty simple. But still, there's unexpected things that occur, playing off other people. So good choice on the mission structure there.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, speaking of which, I'll give you a brief insight as to how I use the focus words. Moral dilemma is pretty obvious, isn't it?
Yeah.
That was the first one. Then I also had till the very last drop, which was water was the way that he snuck his thing on, and then also the thing would fall out of the sky.
Yeah, we were spiraling downward, and
So that's how I used that. And then given to me, dissociate, obviously, mind jacking. Yep. And the way that he could sneak that in, and also the fact that I tried to convey that he was a reasonably charismatic character. And
you did.
He could convince people even if he didn't mind hack them, which I thought made for a pretty interesting villain. And the idea to make it a sci-fi mission kind of came in at the very last moment, because I thought to myself, okay, a sci-fi mission on a space station, man, a like normal kinetic gun and a horse would wreak havoc on a space station. And Murasaki is familiar with that, and Siri's level 7, she'll be fine. So let's set it there, because I don't give Siri sci-fi very often. So it just happened to piece together. But the setting was very much the last thing to come in. I had all the other pieces in place, and I was just looking for a setting. Do you guys have any other thoughts or questions before we wrap up? Especially, Clarke, Peter, now that you've seen the game, Mary, having seen these guys play out of their fucking minds for the very first time they ever touch it.
I was gonna say, it's like I've been playing games for a minute though.
Yes, indeed.
Ain't my first rodeo. Let's see. No real notes. I always like to sleep on it, but obviously, I was very attracted to the gunslinger as a class. It's what I like to do because I'm the kind of player that I don't need my class features to give me utility necessarily. I know what I'm gonna like. I'm gonna explore the environment myself. And tellingly, I used very few abilities, but when I did, they were incredibly dramatic. Right? So that always feels good. When I had my moment was very dramatic, but because this wasn't a mission in which we were in constant battle, which is good, I felt like I also had time to just like breathe a little bit and explore the character. Right.
Yeah, constant battle would not have worked for this squad because you were the only combat character. So
like these people are.
I quickly identified your role. Like, okay, I'm the bodyguard. I need to make sure that these two do the thing.
These two nerds.
These two nerds do the thing. Though, as you saw,
I'm glad I picked a horse too. The choice is so obvious. I like the sharps. I like the coach gun, but horse.
Hell yeah,
it was great.
Yeah, Clarke. Any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, another thing that I just want to emphasize, you talked about the charisma of your villain. I also thought that you did a really good job of making that sell both. He was obviously charismatic as a puppeteer, but I really liked when the facade dropped and it's not not a megalomaniac, not a man of grand ideals, just here to do a job. Job happens to be hijacking a spaceship. Let's we're not going to broker any nonsense, but I'm also not going to play any games.
Yeah, I was trying to make it truly as gray a situation as possible.
You conveyed it the villain came across very strongly.
I'm great. I'm really glad. And frankly, when the Murasaki line that I love so much of like, oh yeah, according to the terrorist, if he is saying this thing truly, I forget the exact line, but it was something like that. And I was like,
yeah,
ding,
if
ding,
anyone
ding,
see a
like,
political situation is being accurately described by an active terrorist.
exactly, yeah. If assuming that, and I will say, as Siri identified, he did believe what he was doing was right, and he was not lying.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
I was pretty amused that, so he's this charismatic guy, clearly manipulating people. But as soon as he ran into a hard bitch like Dega, who isn't there to actually, like, he's not there to, like, negotiate. Like, he's clearly just here to kill him. He's, like, calling up Siri, like, change of plans.
I'm out, yeah.
Well, that was a fun, like, moment for the character, right? Where, you know, it's not somebody who cares about whatever scheme is going on. He's clearly just like a hired killer.
Well, on top of that, he knew that you guys had him. Like, you got through his defenses. You were too fast. You got through his trap. You know, like, you were able to deal with getting tased quadrillion times. Like, he's like, okay, I give up.
Yeah, it was really funny.
Mary, final thoughts from you.
Holy fucking shit, you guys were good.
Seriously.
Just, oh my fucking god, that was awesome. I love fucking fun, creative ideas, and you guys both had them. And I'm also very excited because I've wanted Siri to go rogue on a mission for a long time now. Because we keep getting thrown into horrible situations, and I hate them, and I want to flip Robbie a middle finger. So, thank you guys.
You managed to play a very chaotic character in a very intelligent way, and that's not something a lot of people can do.
Yeah. I have a different character that I play chaotic in a not good way. But yeah, Siri's more us like
Picasso. You can break the rules if you can, you know, if you can show you can follow him.
Siri has had such an arc too. Like the amount she's changed from her first mission to now is unbelievable.
It's really fun to like figure out the missions that were turning points for her and things like that. And also that most of them are recorded is great. I've tried to keep Siri as like a mainly recorded character so I can actually like see her evolution, which of course I'm missing bits and pieces from a couple different missions and things like that, but it's really fun to like have that documented. So thank you, Robbie, for letting me play the same character over and over and over again.
Of course. And thank you all for taking the time to play. It's been a pleasure sharing the game with you. It's been a pleasure, of course, having you back, Mary. You know I love having you on missions. Let us do our sign-offs in the same order that we tapped in. Peter, Clarke, Mary. Any closing thoughts? And then we will wrap it up.
Yeah, I'll just say once again, so I have a YouTube channel called Tales from Elsewhere, and like Robbie appeared...
It's awesome.
Yeah, thank you. Like Robbie appeared when this is online, it'll be a couple months ago, potentially, when that actually happened. If you stay tuned, in the next year, I'm going to be having more designers on. I want to keep interviewing people and helping support indie designers with their crowdfunding. So expect to see more people showing up, including one of the people on this call. We're going to be, coming in January, maybe. Me and Clarke are going to also be online. So if you were interested in seeing other interesting, unique projects like Robbie's, right? Not just the big products, but people making interesting new things, that's a place to check it out. I'll be trying to do that more frequently in 2026.
Absolutely. I will say that yours is one of, I think, the best channels in the TTRPG space. Clarke and I were talking about how much we loved it on our call the other day. You do awesome work that no one else does. So I'm really grateful for you.
Absolutely.
And Clarke, final thoughts from you.
Yeah, once again, Clarke Peterson from Speaks and Spells Publishing. For the next year or so, I'll probably be working on getting Wild Magic Reimagined fulfilled. But the best part is that, you know, I'm taking the plunge into the space and like the door's totally open as far as what I do next, whether it's, you know, more stuff in a 5e ecosystem or more stuff elsewhere, maybe even Tales from Elsewhere, who knows? Like we'll see what comes of it, but mostly like, you know, it's one of the best parts that I found about like, you know, sort of the post Kickstarter life has just been like getting to meet people like Barry and Robbie and Peter. And I'm excited to meet more people. So if you are someone who is at all interested in design or crowdfunding or, I don't know, random facts about chemical reagents and how to detoxify water, like hit me up. I'd love to chat. I'd love to hear what you have to say, and maybe you'll love to hear what I have to say.
And as a quick note there, I will say, because he will not, that Clarke is one of the single most generous people with his time and information that I've ever met in the industry. You are the sort of person I would point people towards who I knew needed good help, and thank you for being that.
Thank you.
And lastly, Mary, round us off.
I don't have projects late. Sign up for Enclave's Kickstarter is open though, so maybe do that, and brush your teeth. That's important.
Yeah. I'm going to show that to my daughters. They need to know.
God, I can't think of a better way to end it. Thank you all so much for watching. As always, my name is Robbie Howell, and ciao for now.